Wayne, what's happening, brother? I'll give you guys a second to pop in here. What is going on? I don't see my viewers yet. So I'm still waiting on the viewer portion to pop up here. Still not showing me views. There we go. All right, I guess that took a second to get kicked off here. So, what is going on, everybody? There is just some stuff that I think we need to cover with the Skydio because what am I get all of a sudden message after message? Hold on a sec here, guys. Let's see. All right, it's telling me that I'm streaming. I love the Neil Patrick Harris. Okay, drone shots. What's going on? Ellie, what's happening? I adventure something. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link here. And Brian, if you want to join me, feel free. And we're going to talk here for a sec. So we got 8 people in here. What's going on, all 8 people? Don't forget to smash the like button on the way in. And man, guys, goofy stuff going on there. Kiwi, what's going on, brother? Bill must have hit the thumbs down. I don't care who hits the thumbs down, man. You know how we roll around here, bro. They're just wasting their time. Third Eye View, what's going on, brother? How's it hanging? Boom. All right, so let's talk about this. That's cool. Just pop in when you can. Man, guys, I have been reading through the comment section of the Skydio videos, and I gotta tell you, people are gurus all of a sudden. They all know about this drone. All of them. They're all speaking personally with the company, and the company's telling them personal things, and they're reaching out. We're having email communications, and then I read through their comments, and I know that what they're saying isn't realistic stuff, and I go, you have no clue what you're talking about. We have a ton of unicorn chasing going on right now about the Skydio 2, and it is really goofy to me, some of the stuff that I have heard. I'm going to give you an example, okay? You ready for this? This was the best one I've heard so far. In a personal conversation between 2 people on a video that happened 3 days ago that somebody put up about the Skydio 2, one gentleman says, "What is the megapixel?" And another gentleman says, 12. But I spoke personally with Skydio, and they are going to make a firmware adjustment so it can be 31 megapixel. So don't fret, you will be able to use it for personal use. Does anybody else see a unicorn in here? I spent all day looking for this unicorn. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it anywhere. What is this person talking about? Do they know anything about drones? Do they have any clue about drones? What? I was so mind blown reading through these comments. Listen, guys, for anybody who's looking into this drone, it is not a difficult thing to just do your research yourself. Skydio will answer their Facebook page if you have personal questions. Do not listen to the clout-chasing unicorn wonders of the world. They are all over the place, and they would love to be super deceptive and alter your mind train of thought about this drone and tell you that it's going to shoot magical farts out of its butthole. You know, they just and I just don't know. I don't. Have you guys, like, seriously? You guys need to go read through some of the comments on the Skydio 2 video. Some of the comments people are putting are absolutely wild, and they're being 100% serious. You can tell by how they argue the point after they make it, right? You can correct some stuff with firmware, but you're not going from 12 megapixel all the way to 31 megapixel with a firmware adjustment. Let's just put that one right out there. All right, we got Andrew who's about to jump in. It would be cool if you could do that, but that's not possible. So, Andrew, make sure to pause the YouTube stream so that we don't get echo.
I've already done that.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, are you with us? You're good?
I'm trying to be.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
It's just my desktop is all over the place. So I have to
Today we're going to try to just stay on topic, okay?
What you're expecting about this study, you know?
Yes.
Right. I think it's crap.
You think it's crap?
No, I think no, in a sense. But I think the idea of the concept of certain things is good, but the market's never going to kick off here, right? I can see that being something like what they did with me when I got roped in with the DJI products.
Mm-hmm.
What was I always recording? What was doing the actual filming out of the, the drones at the time that they put all them videos on?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow, I want to do all that. But, that's not impossible. It's impossible. You tried all that.
Right.
And I thought, okay, so is this going to be something that's going to be a game changer? Right. Then I don't think it is, because then you're still going to have the divvies that are going to think, well, if this is going to follow me through flaming trees and around surrounding places like that, so by the branch, etc., or twig, right? Then it's going to count. It's going to follow you through town. People are going to believe this,
right?
And they're going to think, well, then if it's going to last that amount of time, which we know it's always crap when it comes to back to life, and then people are going to experiment. That they think that this is okay to go and experiment with this in, moving trains, maybe anything. I don't know.
Well, no, I get that.
For everything you name, that's bad.
But that's part of new technology. Everyone's going to test things. I mean, we hope that they don't cross the boundaries of.
Well, they did, and that's what started off right and gave the drone as a bad name, as people being immature about what it was doing.
Sure. Well, let's get Steve in here. Steve, what's happening, brother?
Good afternoon, well, evening to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Everybody
Andrew,
in chat. Andrew. Steve said, "Hey." Everybody in chat, how's it going? Michael, how's it going? Don't forget to smash the like button, as Steve so generously put in there. I don't want this to be about what the drone can really do. I want this to be around unicorn chasing, because there's so much of it out there right now that people are just pulling magical things out of the air and saying that it can do this and it can do that. And there's no evidence of any of that.
Well, the Phantom was supposed to go like 2-3 miles, right? I was supposed to be able to fly that from outside my house and land it in my uncle's, garden. And take a shot out there and show him exactly what I'd just taken over and everything. Put a little beam tune there. It made it look so simple, right, back in the beginning. And then all them, the markets, like, all the other ones, and they just massively did everything. Like you already said, in so many things, so many different ways.
Sure.
How do we correct our own mistakes?
All right. Well,
for misuses.
Let's be clear about this. The Mavic.
I have made my own mistakes too.
I feel you, man. Give me 1 sec here. Let's be clear about this. The Mavic and all the other drones from DJI do not have the tracking capabilities this does. As much as everybody would want to say it does not. I just saw Don Leonard, or whatever his name is. You guys probably see him all over the place, arguing the fact that the Mavic 2 Pro can do these things. And I'm saying right now, they absolutely cannot. They do not have the capability to go through the woods at the same speed or pace as the Skydio products can. Okay, we've seen it once.
No, but I'm saying we was made to believe then, right? And when 2015, right, and that these things showed evidence that these things was doing these things. I was, what was the drone that was actually taking, the video of of the drone that was doing it in the first place. I started making me wondering about editing and all that kind of stuff, and then I thought, is that what we was made to believe at the beginning, that we could probably get away with a lot of that stuff, and then now we can't, and now we realize we cannot do that.
What? Oh, Andrew, I don't know where you're going with all that, because it's kind of
on expectations, right? I can't see this drone doing any different down the market, right, than any other thing right now, because we're still always going to have rules, and we're still going to always hit.
Well, no, I get that, but that's off topic from what we're trying to discuss. We're trying to say,
obviously, it's not going to happen, is it?
But
and we're going to, hobbyists might go being dumb, as adults are, and they will go and experience, right? And
everybody's going to go out and experiment, man. That's part of drones. People are going to try things they know they shouldn't. That's just part of the drone hobby.
More and more laws come out.
But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about people just making things up and pulling imaginary crap from the sky and telling other people that it can do these things when they have no idea themselves whether it can or it can't. That's what the topic is about. You know what I'm saying? Mavic products aside and DJI aside, we're talking about the clout chasers right now. We're talking about the people that are just showing up in comment sections going, let me answer that for you, though they have no idea what they're talking about. They read the same articles that we did. They read the same stuff that we did. There is no difference from what they did from what I did, but yet they can pull happy panda bears out of their butt when they want to and just produce things that don't make sense to people.
So a monkey can fly it, right? Yeah.
Well, why not? Strap the beak into a monkey and have him run through the woods, and let's see if it can keep up.
Can a monkey do that with the Skydio?
There you go.
That's another question you might ask when you get one. You know, but that time will tell its own story, right? When people receive one of these things, right? What their actual, I would like to see more of them videos and see what their experience is themselves. I'm not going to be no guinea pig in that kind of direction of any kind of drone anymore. Like I'm already at ground zero,
right?
And like I said to you yourself, you know, well, if you want online, I can have them. Well, I will take the batteries out and then make it easier for you, you know. They're the ones that take all the bloody, you know, battery life. Well, actually, they take all the, you know, the time process and weight. Well, you take all the batteries out and they don't really weigh nothing, right? I'll send you a, you know, a DJI platform of drones that you wouldn't imagine. All the phantom tools, right? All the mods and everything, you know, all the alpha antennas, you name it, they're all there. DSLR, the whole lot. I haven't got no need for it. All I can do is go basically up and down.
Down, right.
And if I do not cause an attraction within 5 minutes of it taking me to do that, forget about it.
Right. Steve,
it's not worth it.
What are your thoughts on the unicorn chasing?
I mean, I've got the 3D, you know, the
3DR.
Right. You know, but I've got them. I mean, they sent me shitloads of them things. Why was they doing that? I haven't got no bloody room for the things.
Yeah.
You're sending me solo. I live on my own solo. You know, don't make a point of that, you know?
Right.
All right, but, you know, you're sending me gimbals and you're sending me this. You got me wrong with somebody else.
I got to hear from Steve here, Andrew. Give Steve a second.
Not anywhere, right? You know.
Yeah, all I know is I'm having a blast laughing my ass off.
I only know before.
What these people are writing, it's beyond chasing unicorns.
Yeah.
This is beyond, closer to more like a lobotomy and clickbait. That's all it is.
Horrible.
clickbait.
If Dan was on if he was just my next door neighbor, he would have a shock if I dropped all my drones up at one go at his door. This is just take them, do whatever you want, take them all out, right? Take all the mouths out, take all the, the guts out, put them in, modernize them into any kind of thing you want. Just do whatever you want. Because I can't do anything but just watch them, right? I wake up in the morning and look at it, yeah, it looks cool. But what am I ever going to do?
Drone Shark, what's going on?
What it all comes down to, and it's I think it's a combination of people chasing the unicorns and the people creating clickbait and the people that are just out there just pulling stuff out of there. You know what?
I don't know about
the best part about it is that I'm really having a fun time with are all these drone reviewers jumping up and down because they haven't received one, but yet these off-road bikers are testing them.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that suicidal, right, by the Skydio, right? Getting some off-road bikers going on that big cliff edge there, taking that chance with that drone, right? I mean, I think they're obviously, it looks a little bit too.
They're doing exactly what that drone can do. That drone.
Yeah, I mean, what is the chances?
As much as you, almost any cell phone or anything else that you're going to have, Andrew, that process is designed to do it exactly what those guys are doing on a bike.
I understand that for that kind of culture of people of like sport enthusiasts, yeah, but I cannot see that. But I could see so many dumb people doing so many things with it if it is as good as what it's trying to make out. And I think they're going to make that really, really look bad on its own thing. And maybe that's probably why they limited it in the first place. Right? They don't want, are you going to use it as a sportist thing or are you going to use it as... There's so many different levels. And I can see so many people do so many dumb things with that thing. Okay, you can move around all these obstacles, right? But can it really actually follow me through a town center, right?
That's what it's designed to do.
Well,
there is no... Andrew, can I get you to hold on a second? Yeah. There is no other drone out there that has the capability and the processing power than any other drone out there. And what these people are doing is they're just pulling crud out, except for the ones that have been able to process it and be able to use it. And yes, those bike riders, that's exactly one of the things that it can be used to do. Follow them, track them, and boats, jet ski, snowmobile, anything in the world that thing's going to be able to do. Besides, as pilots, we'll be able to fly it on a different course. They just use their brain when they were doing their marketing, because most of those people out there have huge followers on their YouTube channels that they were able to use those.
It looks an amazing piece of product, right? I can't, but I mean, what I mean is, the part of where it is going to be is, how many people are going to go out on daily activities like that. They're going to use it as a thing like you want to walk around every day around town or something that follows you, that you only go out for 5-10 minutes. This is where people start thinking different things like that.
Well, the drone has uses for people that use it for their use. It's not for everybody.
No, I can see that. That's what I mean. I can see it's more the sports kind of outdoor activity, definitely far out. Not congested areas or anything like that. It's going to be a platform.
It'll be real interesting. It'll be real interesting. But with everybody, as what the subject line is everybody just pulling this crap out of the sky, saying, "Oh, it's going to do this. It'll do this. It'll do this." I'm just having a great laugh.
I would love to see a few more. I love the concept. I love the video images and all that kind of stuff, but they put that into nearly every drone that I've known. So, right, that in the very beginning of time, right?
But it's
All that kind of stuff, right? As we may look like it, right? They somewhere, right, come to the same stage, and just because we got such a bad name, and we're gonna be able to correct this by this one drone. I don't think so.
okay. Well, that's not. But that, Angie, that's not what we're talking about.
I love the concept.
Okay.
If you're an outside, adventurist or whatever it is.
Yes, but let's talk about the people giving false information and giving bad information. That's what this is about.
All
right? We have to stay on topic, dude. Otherwise, it's just arguing.
I didn't know. I thought it was just an open thing.
Yeah, no, we're
The title, I didn't get this a couple of minutes into it.
I got you. I mean,
I got your last stream, which was the 7th of October. It says you only started that 8 hours ago.
Right. All right. So we're all on the general subject. Are you with me, Andrew? We're talking about the people giving bad information that don't know what they're talking about. That's what this is about. Okay.
Don't know to mute myself. Oh, can you do that? I don't know. Oh no, I can do it.
Okay, so Brian, what's going on, man? I think you're still muted. Or maybe he froze. Froze? Yeah, he's muted.
Yeah, he's muted.
Okay.
No, yeah, I had it muted.
Okay. Well, I'm asking your opinion, man. What do you think about this unicorn chasing going on, bro? I mean, I'm reading through the comments on these Skydio, and people are just giving the stupidest false information to other people, and they're believing it. The worst part is that they think they're accurate with their information. And some of them have gone as far as saying, well, I spoke to Skydio, and I know these things, and I can just tell by reading their comment that they have no idea what they're talking about. I've never seen this before. I've never seen it. Not even with DJI products. I've never seen unicorn chasing before. I've seen small variations of it, but never on this scale. This is a new scale. This is people blatantly just giving the wrong information and stuff. What are your thoughts?
They're only a small firm, right?
Well, I guess my take on it is this, you got several, and I mean, maybe 5, maybe 8, you got several drone channels that, these guys are, I mean, nobody knows who they are other than what they see on YouTube. So a lot of them are liars. A lot of them are thieves. A lot of them are clowns. A lot of them are full of shit. And, they make a YouTube channel and suddenly they're a professional FAA 107 drone expert and they think they know everything about drones. And it's just, they're just chasing, the clicks. That's all they care about right now. They're just trying to, get the clicks and get the views. And so they're putting all this information out there that they think is relevant and it's all, it's bullshit. So,
that's very true. I went downtown and this guy was all kitted up and everything, and he was full of crap. I could have got one of them vests, right? From off eBay for probably about £1. DJI drone pilot experience. It's okay. Puts a little thing around him. It's okay to fly that thing. But technically, he's not allowed to fly that thing.
Okay, guys, I apologize. I had to drop Andrew off. Andrew's had one too many drinks. He's having a really hard time staying on topic tonight. And normally I'm okay with that when we're having an open stream, but Andrew's kind of just not. I don't think he's catching all the conversation that's happening here. So I apologize. I didn't want to do that. Andrew, if you're watching the stream again, I apologize. I didn't want to do that, man, but you've had a tad bit too much to drink tonight to have you on panel. So let's moving forward here. Go ahead.
Hey, Brian.
So my hey Steve, how are you? So my point is, you know, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an expert. I'm not going to sit here and say that, you know, I'm the president of the drones or anything like that. And that's one of the things, like you and I talked about the other day, about starting to give people in the YouTube community a real take on what's going on. And you know, dude, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I watch a bunch of other channels. I watch tool review channels. I live in off-grid channels. I watch camper channels, and every community, even the drone community, the the off-grid community, the tool review community, every single community, there's a group of people, just like there is in our little circle, and they're all cutthroat, backstabbing. Look out! It's all about me. I got better information than you do. And you know, it's really hard to find a good group of people that are sticking together and they have each other's back and they've got real relevant information. And you know, I'm just like I texted you earlier today. I saw a really good video, a guy making a lot of points about bullshit.
Just so you're aware, this is not about that. You still have your thing coming for that, and
yeah, I know it's not about.
Yeah, this is just about.
I'm not trying to get off topic. I haven't had too many, but I'm getting to the point. It's a lead up, you know. So, so you know, the unicorn chasing stuff. You know, I mean, everybody's pretty well familiar with the Mavic Mini coming out. Everybody's familiar with the Skydio coming out, and you know, it's sad. It really is sad that people are just fabricating information about this drone, and even people are fabricating information about the DJI stuff that's coming out. So, you know, and like I said, later on, you know, I want to be able to put positive, relevant information out there, and then if nobody wants to ride, that's fine.
Right. Oh yeah, no. So just to be clear about that, Brian, Dronosaurus Rex, actually, tell him both your channels, because he has a very blunt video coming that I think the entire community needs to see, and I can't.
So the channel's Eye Adventures.
So let's. Matter of fact, I'm going to post both those channels. If you guys don't have Brian's channel, let me pull this up real quick.
Yeah, so whenever I come into the chat this afternoon, you know, just like I did Punkosaurus Rex the other day, and then sometimes I do Eye Adventures, but tonight I just thought I would go ahead and just start off with Dronosaurus Rex, because I'm getting ready to crush all the big YouTube drone channels with some real shit.
Yeah, I think it's time to just show who knows what and who doesn't. I think we're at that stage now where it's time to. I agree with that, man. I think it's time to really start showing who's knowledgeable and who's not, and I'm 100% on board with that. I think it's time to put some of these cartoon chasing channels away and start off fresh. So, yeah, you're good, Andrew. By the way, Mike, how's it going? Question for the normal person like me: how do you know who to trust? Well, now that is a good question, and I haven't covered that yet, but this is my suggestion. Ask the person telling you the information to make a video for you, including the people they've talked to and a little proof behind that. It's not hard to take a screenshot if you had a conversation with Skydio, post that video, talk about the discussion you had with them, and make a video, right? Or to share the information or forward it to you so you can read it and see what their sourcing is. Because honestly, guys, at this point, there is so much fake news out there about the Skydio, and all these people know that they're lying and they don't seem to care. They're just trying to get subscribers and they're trying to get views and they're trying to do these things that just don't. They make sense if you're a clickbait person. They make sense if you're somebody who's trying to grow your channel through lies and deceit. Okay, but if you're a knowledgeable drone person, you can see right through it immediately just by the way they talk and not having much knowledge about what they're discussing. If I don't know something, I ask or I say it. Go ahead, man. Show us. Yeah, let me blow that up. As you can see, he's actually been talking to Skydio, right? And a lot of us actually are able to do that, and we're getting proper information. So if Brian says something about Skydio, you can pretty much assume, Brian's going to be able to show you proof of where he got that from. Would you agree with that, Brian?
No, oh yeah, absolutely. I thought you was gonna,
Leave me
ask
hanging,
Steve
bro.
or maybe Mike or somebody. Maybe you could, read your chat.
Oh my gosh, dude, you left me hanging, bro. I was
No,
like
no, no,
this.
no, no, no. Yeah, absolutely. So, and like I said, I don't want to come in here and say, that I'm the smartest or I have all of the information, because I learn something new every day. But if I make a YouTube video and tell somebody, hey, this is what this drone's capable of doing, this is what it's used for, this is the platform, this is the ins and outs. I'm not just sitting here just Googling, how does thermal drones work, or what's the flight time on the Skydio or the megapixels, or that, because and we talked the other night. I mean, you know what DJI's plans in the future are, and they're not going to be able to compete with the Skydio 2 at all.
Yeah, not at this moment.
Not running Wi-Fi.
And yeah, well, and that's the thing, is that we also did discuss. We talked a lot about the Mavic Mini the other night, and if I still don't, okay, we say it's a thing, right? We say it is. That being the case, we went over some of those stats, man, and we were able to just estimate ourselves flight times based on numbers and type of battery and weight limits. I mean, all of this can be gone through and calculated to give you pretty much a rough estimate of what you're going to get for these things. Now, there's always going to be variations and variables in there, because you don't know how much the sensors are pulling. You don't know if it's shooting in 1080 or 4K or 2.7K. Now, we have established that it's not a 4K setup. On the high end of things, it might push a 2.7K. I don't think that's even a viable thing still. However, it does need to be a little better than the Spark, which was 1080 at 30. So if that's the case, maybe a 1080 at 120 or a 2.7K at 30 or 15. That would be something that would make sense to me. But for the people that I keep seeing saying stuff like OcuSync, no. I think Brian will agree with that. We're not seeing an OcuSync bird, right?
Well, one of the things, not to interrupt you, but something that I want to put out there, we've got 25 people watching, and hopefully there'll be more people that watch this later on.
Mm-hmm.
You have these drone review channels that put a video out immediately and says, Skydio 2's coming, or Mavic Mini's coming, or whatever, and they are basically reading I guess like a news article from Drone DJ or OC to LV or whatever. Yeah. And so, and they have two pieces of information. It's a DJI and the name of it, and that's basically it. They don't know what camera's on it is, or the distance or anything like that. So before I put a video out, like we done the other night, I actually go do my homework, and so I'm going to be able to tell you the frequency range that drone's working off of, which means that once you know the frequency range, you know that it's not working on OcuSync 2.0. Once you know the battery, the size of the battery, you can compare that to other drones and know that it's going to have a 24 or 25 minute flight time, not 40 minutes like everybody thinks. And so when you put a relevant video out that says, hey, I'm not going to tell you where I got my information from, but I'm going to tell you that, this is basically going to be a hyped up Spark,
right?
And then people, they hit the thumbs down and they're like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, you suck. I'm going back to that other review channel because he seems like he knows what he's talking about. But it really pisses me off when you have a computer analyst or a computer programmer or somebody who works at Advanced Auto Parts, or somebody who's still living at home with their mom and dad and going to college for a marketing degree, to sit on a computer and tell you that they're all figured out and this is the drone that you're going to get and you should go buy one, because the only freaking reason they're doing that is for clicks and to look like they know what they're talking about, and for you to PayPal them or for you to buy one and there are links in the description or whatever. It's all SEO. It's not about real shit. And that's why I'm changing my direction in my YouTube channel.
And this is what he's doing right now is what I've been trying to fight for since I started my channel, is this blatant bullcrap, pull the wool over your eyes kind of stuff that we've been seeing for 4 years now. I mean, I'm tired of it. It wasn't just the few channels I've had an issue with lately. I've had to really put some channels in line over the years. And some of you guys know some of those channels I had to point out, and I had to really get them to admit their faults. And, you know, I'll say one of them right now, J Drone. That dude was lying through his teeth when he first started his channel. I had to put him on blast. You know, it got to the point where no matter what, I was wrong and he was right. That's how he was doing it. So he kept telling everybody he was working. He owns this company and he's the firm of this company that does catering, and he's, you know, he's helping his grunts work at his job. Come to find out, right, J Drone was just hiding behind his channel and coming up with false information about him, you know, like putting fake stuff out there about him. It was actually his friend's catering service, right, that J Drone was the grunt worker of. And so I called his catering service and I got a hold of his friend. I said, hey, are you aware this guy is saying that he owns your company and he's out there representing your company and saying that he's this big YouTuber and all these things, and he's just lying through his teeth the whole time on his channel? These are things that I just don't put up with. So when people say you're a troll, no, I'm not a troll. I just don't like it when you lie. If you lie, we got a problem. I'm going to come for that ass and I'm going to get it. Okay. Whether you want to or not, I'm going to get that ass. Okay, so the point is that I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sure a lot of other people are sick and tired of it. It's time to start showing why the knowledgeable channels don't grow and the clickbait channels that Unicorn Chase do. There's going to be a massive difference here on what's going to be happening here coming up soon. I think Brian is actually a good trendsetter for that. So I'm behind him 100% in the activities that he's chasing right now. I like where he's heading with this. This is a good direction for him as well as the rest of you guys. I think it's time to start showing who knows what. And I like it. I like the idea. So kudos to you, man.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't going to like, I mean, you know, the blunt, and you know, they're going to say, oh, this guy's an ass or he's got an attitude or whatever. But it's really, I'm not going to be, you know, abrasive towards the community. But whenever they watch one of my videos and they see the abrasiveness, I want them to know where that's coming from. I want them to know that I'm being abrasive to the people that are the big YouTube channels that's watching my video, to know that I know, like, I know what you did and I know what you're up to and I know your secrets. But the people that are there for information, they're going to say, you know, oh, maybe he's being a bit of a smart ass, and they kind of like, you know, what this other person had to say. And that's fine. But, you know, I'm going to make it clear that, you know, this is the legit. I'm not asking you to PayPal me. I'm not asking you to subscribe and link in the description and go to my Amazon affiliate links. They're all in there. I mean, we all do that, but that's not why I'm putting that video out. I'm putting that video out so that people can sit back and say, you know what, that makes perfect sense, because, you know, you got people that are really looking for information on YouTube to get into something, whether it be, you know, I'm going to go buy a dozer and a bobcat and start my own construction company, or if I'm going to go move in a camper and live off grid the rest of my life. People go to YouTube and watch videos that's relevant to what they got going on. And if they're, you know, even if it's, you know, a woman wanting to replace a faucet on her sink, they go to YouTube and they look for a video on what's going on with that. And then you have the people that watch it for entertainment purposes, you know, because they're just like, oh, I want to watch a video, I'm bored. And, you know, that's okay. But what I'm going to put out there is, hey, look, this is what's really going on in the drone community, and this is what's really going on with the drones that are out there. And if you got a dream to do something, this is the way you can achieve that dream and make a realistic, obtainable goal, instead of watching a drone reviewer channel and saying, oh, wow, I'm going to go out here and, you know, I'm going to be making $100,000 a year because I bought a drone. You know, and that's what those channels sell.
Yes. So I have to say that if you're here to be an entertainer, be an entertainer. But if you're here to actually be a tech and drone guru, then you need to stick to real knowledge. Okay. If you're just here to entertain, then change your channel. Change your channel type. All your videos need to be, you know, taken off tech and actually changed over to comedy or entertainment value or people and discussion. You know, if you're here to do tech, then you're here to do tech. Okay. There's not really an in-between place for you. I'm sorry, you don't get to be best of both worlds. It's you're one or you're the other. Are you an entertainer or are you a tech reviewer? Let's make a decision here. Okay, because the entertainment channels grow and the people that are knowledgeable don't, because you guys clickbait your way through everything. You make it insanely hard for the people like us on this panel that do know about these things to grow, because we're not trying to entertain these people. We're trying to give them good knowledge, right? If you want to watch entertainment, then go watch an entertainment channel. You know what I'm saying? Now we can still have fun with our videos and we can still have a little entertaining edits and, you know, put stuff in there to make you smile or giggle or laugh or feel something from a video. But I'm not here to be an entertainer. I'm here to be a drone reviewer, a tech reviewer, somebody who does that stuff, somebody who has good knowledge, who has a good discussion base, who has a community, and I want to share that information with everybody. We will always grow at a slower rate because of these clickbait channels and these people that just lie through their teeth and do things that, you know, you get where I'm going with this, guys? Like,
yeah, that's what bothers me about the whole thing is all these people that lie and clickbait and blah, 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 blah. They keep growing because these people just, it's almost like they want to be lied to. So
right.
Keep lying to me and I'll keep coming back.
It doesn't make sense. I know. It's the silliest thing ever. But it's the algorithm that pushes them. It's YouTube loves the fact that they're just sucking up to them, and they're sucking up to the manufacturers, and they're sucking up to the companies that are sending them things, and they're doing their best to try to get DJI to sponsor them. And so I'm going to do nothing but talk DJI and how good DJI is, because at some point DJI is going to go, well, this guy's never let us down, so let's send them some products. Whether you know about drones or you don't, if you just keep saying they're good, they're good, they're good, they're good, they're good, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to send you a drone to play with, because all you've done is say good things about them, you know. But as an honest reviewer, as somebody who does do tech stuff, I can honestly say I'm not happy with half the stuff that DJI has come out. I have a pros and cons list, you know. The cons from these entertainment channels are funny to me, because there's basically like one or two, but there's 50 good things about it. I'm sure if I sat down and wrote out a pros and cons list as to any of the DJI products, I could probably find almost as many cons as I could pros. You know, it's not that I'm looking for them. It's just being somebody who's messed with a lot of different platforms, I have general things that I look for in a drone to do, or be able to do, or should be capable of. But that's the difference between a real reviewer and somebody who's just an entertainment channel. You know, we go more in depth. We go more into how these specifications work and why. You know, you're not getting that from entertainment channels. Aha, precision landing. But how does it work? But, well, precision landing. Well, no, I get that. But how does that precision landing work? It takes a picture of the ground. Yeah, but where does it send that information? What reads that? What tells it that it needs to precision landing? Move on. You know, it's like you didn't tell anybody anything. What did you tell them? You know, that's the difference. You're only talking about the functionality. You're not actually telling us how it works or why it works. You know, so I don't know.
Well, that's.
Go ahead, Mike.
That's the whole. I mean, we all in the back of our minds know who we're talking about, but for the time being, I'm not going to mention any names because of all the crap that's going on. But you know, when somebody puts out all this crap and they continually embarrass themselves on their channel and they continually prove that they're wrong and they don't know what they're talking about, and people just keep coming back and back, you know, it just boggles the mind that people would continue to follow these people like this. It just, you know, but like I say, I'm not going to mention anybody's name, but there's one particular person that continually does this over and over again. And then when you call them out, you point out that they're wrong. Then they cry foul and say, I'm being bullied, you know, and no, you're being called out. You're asking to prove something, back up your statements with something. They just, so once they're called out, they cry foul and help me, you know, but people still continue to follow these idiots.
It is amusing. It is definitely fairly amusing how some of these grown men handle themselves, especially when they're put in a position where I'm just asking for truth and transparency. You know, I don't see that as asking for too much. I ask that out of every YouTube channel that's out here. You know, that includes Ken Heron, Kelly, all you big channels. I don't care. I don't support you for a reason. I'm not here to support big channels. I'm here to help the small channels get big. I think that's what I'm here for. So I don't, you know, I don't care who you are. You know, I just want you to be transparent with everybody. So I think we all want that. I can't believe people want to be lied to, like Mike was saying. I don't understand why somebody would want to be. It sounds like a really crappy relationship between a basic bro and a basic bitch. Like that's what it sounds like to me. You know what I'm saying? A girl who wants a good guy, but will always go back to the bad guy who's doing bad things, you know? And then when she gets her ass beat by that guy, she still goes back to him regardless of whether he was right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's like a basic bro, basic bitch mentality right there. I just, if that's what you want, I guess chase it. You know,
but a lot of that I think too is just sheep.
Yeah,
they just follow the flow. They follow the flow. One thing I'm happy to see with Brian, and that's one thing. A shout out to Skydio. I've contacted them too, and they responded back within hours, not days, not weeks, within hours. And they've made themselves open, not only for social media, but actual phone numbers for contacting them too, which the big boys don't even do that. So I give them my hats off to them for doing what they're doing. And I look forward to seeing what's going to happen once we get our hands on one. And until then, read the specs, go by it. And one of the things that everybody's, precluding to, but they are not thinking. When you have that big of a processor in there and the GPU that's going in there, that's going to suck up the power out of that battery like it's going out of style. You got to power that processor somehow.
Hey, David, you have a lot to say in the comment section about how this show is being operated. Why don't you come join us on panel, man? Why don't you come on up in here, brother? Let's see what you're about, my friend. You keep
Brian, you gotta move every once in a while, man, because I think you're frozen until you
Dude
blink.
is a statue, bro. Ray, how's it going? I'm all for disagreement, but if you're feeling pretty strong about your opinion, and come on in here, man. Talk it over with us. I'm not going to slay you on panel. We'll ask you some good, intricate questions and see what your thoughts are.
Yeah. Yeah, because the flight time that I'm seeing, like you did, no, it's going to be 45 minutes. Another one I saw 30, 35 minutes. I'm going, well, let's see. We have a processor that's just going to be screaming with that many cores in it, and the GPU system that's going to be used to process everything. It's not. It's going to chew that battery up quicker than anything else will.
I mean, a lot of the times it's just because the props are too small for the size of the drone. Just like the Spark could get better flight times if the arms had been just a little longer, and you could have gotten bigger props on there, you would have gotten better flight times.
Mm-hmm.
It was having to spin those at such a high RPM because they were so small that you were expending tons of energy. You know what I'm saying? Like just ridiculous amounts of energy. You probably could have come in closer to the 15 or 20 with a little larger props on it. These are all things that as people mess with drones, you start to understand these things, but I don't know. Here's my biggest thing. Why don't you ask people hard questions? Go into their streams, go and ask them hard questions. If they ignore you, it's because they don't know. Okay? I mean, it's almost every single time we've seen someone snuff out on a hard question is because they don't know. Now, when somebody asks a hard question on here, if I don't know, I will guarantee you I will try to do the best research I can. And I'm going to tell you, hey, look, I don't know that, but I have a group of guys that we roll with. And I'm sure by the end of this, if you give me an email address, I will do my darndest to answer that question for you. But that's the difference. That's how this operates. That's why it flows so smoothly, David, where'd you go, man? I thought you were going to join us, and now you're not talking anymore. Oh.
He said he's there for dating advice. That's what I came here for.
There he is. Do the front hanging props help hurt the battery life? Do the front hanging props. I think you mean the inverted propellers. And it shouldn't make any effect. It's not like pushing and pulling, you're going to get the same amount of airflow no matter what. You know what I'm saying? If it's a top loading prop or a bottom loading prop, it's really not going to make a difference. You know, it's when, like, the only time pushing and pulling makes a big difference is if when you're pushing, like, let's take into consideration you make a giant snowball, right? You can only push a snowball with so many people, correct? There's only so many spaces people can get behind it to push. But if you pull a snowball, well, you can get a whole group of people to grab a hold. That's the only time it makes a difference is when it comes to friction. When you're talking in the air, it's no difference. It's pulling the same amount of air that it's going to push. So
my theory on that they put those props inverted on the front is because at the angle that thing flies at, as fast as it flies, they wanted to keep those sensors on the top because they're going to be angled forward at that point and have a better chance of avoiding obstacles. That's, if you had the props on the top there, you wouldn't have been able to have the sensors there. So with them being inverted, you got a better view of the front of the quad for the optical flow to avoid anything that's in its way.
Yeah, and I'm wondering too, Mike, thinking aerodynamics, having those props there underneath with the quick movements, besides just the sensor, like you're saying, of the quick movements, I'm wondering if the response to that drone is going to possibly be a little bit better because of the positioning of the props being underneath at that point for response. That's a question I have.
Well, and that's what we were talking about earlier. I think when it first came out, I think we addressed part of that question. I actually think you'll be able to go into a little bit harder pitch at the angle that the props are at, being underneath it. It'll be able to push into the wind as opposed to having to pull itself through the wind. So by being able to push, I think it'll always have a much more stable front end. You know what I'm saying? I get that. I think that's probably a big part of it. But Mike might be right there. Sean wants to come in. Who did we get here? Permission to come in. Sure, Sean, welcome, buddy.
What's up, guys?
Not much.
Hello, Sean.
What's up, Steve? We talking Skydio tonight?
Well, we're talking about unicorn chasing and channels that just don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah. So
I feel that a lot.
Yeah, man. I think it's gotten a little overboard with people that just are growing and they're entertainers. They're not real hobbyists.
So let me entertain you for just a second. Are you ready?
Entertain away, my friend.
I mean, this is legit now. You heard it here first, right? DJI is releasing a Mavic 3.
Oh my God. No, I have to go check Drone DJ right now. That can't be the facts. Let me check Drone DJ. Give me 1 sec, guys. This guy's the most knowledgeable person on the planet.
I thought it was the Mavic Mini.
They're doing a Mavic Mini and a Mavic 3. So you heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
Nowhere else in the world. You heard it right here first.
You heard it right here first.
Right here.
And it's going to be like an Inspire 2 on crack. But it's little.
An Inspire 2 on crack, huh?
Oh, look, Drone DJ.
What a great analogy. I like that, Brian.
2 days ago, Drone DJ, you're late with your information, sir.
I'm early because Bill, the drone reviewer, hasn't put a video about the Mavic 3 yet. So you heard it here first.
You heard it here first. All right. And it didn't come from no DJ of drones. It came from right here first.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to Drone DJ.
Even out on Mavic Pilot's website, even too.
Dude, it's everywhere, man. I'm actually, this might be a good sign that he didn't do it this time. Maybe he's actually getting to the point where it's like I can discuss it, not have to try to convince people I came up with the first idea. You know what I'm saying? That's one step closer to being a positive person. I'll take it for what it's worth. Look, I can juggle. So, Sean, what are your thoughts on this, man? Unicorns and lightsabers.
So, so I've had a lot of flack on my channel because I don't do like the trendy, the video that has to be done. I kind of like test things out before I put them up.
Right.
So, I have people all the time, like DJI is the hot topic that everybody likes to talk about, but I've chose to go like the Paradonafia route or the unique hexacopter route. And so, yeah, I struggle with people that put videos out just to make the videos or the hot topic of the time, but they have no idea what they're talking about. I actually take the drone out and fly it and then do a video about it.
That's where Mel and I came up with real world reviews. Do you see those hashtags in Mel and my channel? It might have been somewhere else in the world before that, but we were riding to Texas and he said, you know what, man? He was like, we really need to come up with something catchy. And I was like, okay, real world reviews, like we're actually out here in the dirt flying these drones. We're not sitting in here talking about them. And
yeah.
That was kind of fun. But, then he stole my catch line of all time, man. Like I could have made $1 million off of it. And he stole it and put it on the side of his truck. So.
Nice.
Yes, he did.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Steve?
I've seen it.
I came up with that. We were riding down the interstate and
he gave you credit.
He did give me credit, but it's on the dually of his. It's on those dually fenders of his truck, and I was like, "Come on, man, you can't do that. You can't steal me like that." But he did.
It's like these were the winning numbers for the lotto. Thank you, Brian, and I take the money and run.
Nice. There's no original idea anymore.
Well, I have two of them. I have "You're flying me crazy" instead of "You're driving me crazy." I have "You're flying me crazy." So, when people say, "Oh, you're driving me crazy," then I'll say, "You're flying me crazy." So I got that one, and then "Get Your Mavic On." And the way that, and that's Mavic's proprietary to DJI, but we were riding down the road, and he was like, "I think I want to stop and fly somewhere." I said, "Well, get your Mavic on then,"
Yeah.
And then about 4 hours later, we were at a Petro in Joplin, Missouri, and he went into the sticker shop and got those printed up. And then when I went to bed that night, he was out there, sticking them on his fenders. And when I woke up the next morning, I walked back there to the dually of the truck, and I was like, "What the hell, man? You got to get your Mavic on your fenders." And he was like, "Yep."
That's funny. Yeah, I'm a graphic designer by trade, and so I was trying to get my merch up, and so I saw this pirate flag, and I was like, "Oh, that'd be awesome." So I did like a Phantom. Kind of a Phantom from the view up, and I drew it out, and then I put a skull in the middle of it, like skull and crossbones, like a pirate.
Yeah.
And then I had never seen Sean Oz's channel before, and the next day I saw Sean's channel, and I was like, "Well, crap! Now I can't put that on a T-shirt because that's his logo." And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I was going to call it Drone Bones, and it was going to be this awesome T-shirt, and I was like, "Man, everybody's going to think I just totally ripped him."
Mm-hmm.
So
what's up, Dan? You're being quiet.
Oh, I'm just thinking about all this and how far it's gone in the past 4 years. I remember when this community used to be a lot of fun, bro. And then the past 1.5 to 2 years, it's really taken quite a tumble. Everybody's so willing to throw everybody under the bus to get ahead. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, that's stupid.
It's so ridiculous at this point that people are willing to do that kind of stuff to each other.
I don't want to knock Kelly, and I don't want to knock Spin Up at all, but going to Spin Up, I mean, all these people that are going, they're all looking forward to going to Spin Up to fly and hang out with all the, you know, the people that they see on YouTube and maybe learn something or whatever. And the really, really sad part about Spin Up is that all the people that spoke at Spin Up last year, with the exception of maybe one or two, they, you know, they knew a lot about YouTube and very little about drones. You know, there was a couple there that were drone pilots. You know, I mean, Ken Herron's a drone pilot. Everybody knows that. You know, but the rest of the, you know, the rest of the people there, and I'm not going to single-handedly say all of them, but Ken Herron, but there was 4 or 5 speakers there that, I mean, they didn't have any real serious idea about making money with their drone. They made money on YouTube and they got some shots from the air with their drone, but you know, they didn't do it for a living. And really, I was the only one at Spin Up last year that full-time made a lucrative living flying drones. And you know, Kelly comes over to me and he's like, "Hey man, you know, you got that M210 and you're doing this for a living. You're inspecting power lines 5-6 days a week. You know, you're doing pretty good. You got big contacts." He was like, "You know, I'm really interested in talking to you about that and maybe having you speak next year." And I would have been honored to do that, to actually go in there and give those people the real world content, you know, opinion about how to make money flying your drone. Because making $60 inspecting real estate, you're not making money flying your drone. You know, if I can't make $1,000 a day flying my drone inspecting power lines, I'm not going to do it. And it's not that easy. It doesn't always come that easy. And so, you know, there's a lot of people there that had like these big hopes that they were going to go buy a Mavic 2 Pro or a Phantom 4 Pro or even an M210 and go out here and make $100,000 a year based off of watching all these other guys' videos, not mine, because I didn't have the 75 subscribers. They didn't know who the hell I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only one out there, I would say, and you're right, Brian, you know, the only one I know, and he's from our area, was Flight Path. He doesn't do commercial inspections, but he does aerial photography.
Right.
He does. And he had his Part 107, you know,
Right.
and he's had that almost since day one, just like you. And the rest of them didn't. And it was, and Kelly, I know, was trying to bring a lot of people in from YouTube to help other people coming in to help build their channel.
Right. Like I said, I'm not taking nothing away from it. It was just where, you know, the persona from everybody there was, I'm a professional drone pilot.
Yeah.
Ask me, because I'm a professional drone pilot.
Here's my issue with what you just said, Stephen. It's not you. It's what you just said. That's officially from Kelly. Yes, that he did it to help other people grow. Then how come every person that goes to Spin Up that speaks or does those things isn't helping people grow? Not one of them. They're all like, the most they're giving back to is like, well, let me show your footage on a 3-minute segment on my channel. They're barely having any of you guys on there. They're barely having any of you guys join their shows. Like, these people are only reaching out to people that already have some decent numbers and have growth already.
Right.
And they're not really being or catering to the little people. You know what I'm saying? And that's the issue that I have. What did you really learn at those events? Did you learn anything, Brian? Or was it just a bunch of guys up there trying to tell you how they grew their YouTube channel to where they got? Because I can tell you right now, none of them have a clue. All they did was just buy a bunch of professional equipment, figure out a few keywords to run with, get some very expensive drones to roll with, like DJI, and talk good about the companies. Those are the only 4 things you need to know. There's nothing difficult about it. They didn't go out of their way to make magical rain and unicorns sprout from, you know, flower beds and stuff. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. Go ahead.
Nobody there got on stage and said, this is how you tag a video. This is how you analytic a video. This is how you do an intro or anything like that. All they did was they got up there and said, look at this old footage from 5 years ago when I first started my channel, how horrible it was. And they played a couple of clips of that. And then they said, okay, now look at my latest video. And it was just all dolled up, edited in Premiere Pro, and had After Effects and great music, and it was great shots, and they were mostly shots from drones and stuff, and it was cinematic footage, and it was I'm filming for TV commercials now in Brazil, and I'm taking these massive shots up top that are time lapse and hyperlapse and all that. Okay, great. And I've got 50,000 subscribers, and everybody should know me by now. If you don't, links in the description. That's pretty much what everybody said when they got on stage. Nobody said, hey, if you want to grow your YouTube channel, get with me outside, and you need to learn how to tag a video. You need to learn how to how to title it and traffic and stuff like that, and how to talk on camera. Nobody said that. Everybody said, look at this $3,000 camera I got, and I'm a badass now, and I've got 60,000 subscribers, and that was what it was. And then we went outside to fly for like 20 minutes with everybody, and just as soon as you started mingling and rubbing elbows, it was everybody back inside. It's time for the next speaker. And so it's like, okay, land your drone and then run inside and sit down for another hour and listen to people talk about how great their YouTube channel is. So, meeting Rick from Drone Valley, he's really intelligent. It was kind of cool to meet that guy. Meeting Ed Ricker and watching him fly FPV, that was kind of neat. But it's basically like going to, for me, it was like going to a, like a Grammy Awards or something. If you didn't have 50,000 subscribers, then nobody really wanted to hang out with you or talk to you. It was like, what do you want my autograph? Why are you over here talking to me? And so that's the persona that I got from it. And that's, what I seen coming up this year. They got all these big name company owning people that's going to be there and speakers and stuff like that. I want to go hang out with a bunch of cool ass dudes and fly my drone and get to know people. I don't want to go and sit in a seminar of, hours and hours and hours of how great and wonderful your YouTube channel is, or how you built your corporation drone mapping, or teaching people to fly to go past their 107, or I'm not interested in that. I want to go hang out with cool people, fly drones. And if somebody says, hey, how does a thermal camera work, and how do you make money using a thermal camera inspecting power lines, I'm going to explain to them that we're actually looking at the structures. We're not looking at the line that goes a mile between the towers. Like a lot of people misconstrue that, and they think that you're just flying power lines all day. All you're really looking at is just the connections at the tower to make sure that there's no breaks.
As the point of connections was an electrical contractor, I can tell you that.
That's it. Point of
so
connections.
you had like 6 wires at that tower. You need to make sure there's 6 wires on this tower, and then you go to the next one.
Well, with
we're missing one.
Imaging,
something fell somewhere.
They look at them in a white hot setting, and they make sure that they're good and hot, and the power's going through them, and there's not a break. There's nothing going on with like the insulators, isolators, that type of thing. Gotcha. Cell phone towers, they're looking for broken cables that's coming out of the patch antennas, damage, that type of thing. A lot of birds do damage to that stuff up there. But nobody wants to hear that information at Spin Up. And hear, who do you need to go and talk to about getting a job, and what kind of drone do you need, whether it be 20 megapixel, because there's not a company in the United States that will hire you with less than 20 megapixel in stills to do inspection work. Not one. If you find one, call me and let me know, because I've got 3 drones I can put to work.
Yeah.
And you see these big 50,000 subscriber drone channels saying, hey, everybody, you're going to need a 20 megapixel sensor to inspect. Well, why? Because that's what the companies require in order to be able to look at that image that you're taking from 50 foot away.
Yeah, it's like Uber.
Yeah.
They don't want you to drive a car from 93,
Right.
I drove a Dodge Caliber for Uber.
See? But you were probably just picking up food, right? If you're actually picking up passengers, they're like, yeah, I'm not jumping in that Ford Fiesta. Do they even make Festiva? You remember those little one-banger engines? They didn't even have a 2-banger, 3-banger, 4-banger.
I had a Geo
McDelivery. McDelivery.
Right, yeah. It's a ped car is what it is.
But I don't want to take anything away from Spin Up, and I don't want to take anything away from the Skydio 2, because I'm on the Skydio 2. I'm smoking Skydio 2 right now. My eyeballs are rolling backwards in my head. But the bad part about that drone is it's made like, to me, it looks like a little toy, and I don't like the magnetic battery on the bottom, and it's got a 12 megapixel sensor. So yeah, I mean, like for somebody like Aldrin or Billy Kyle or Original Dobo or any of those guys that get cinematic aerial images for their YouTube channel, might be cool, but it ain't going to serve me no purpose other than a cool factor and, maybe getting a cool shot, out here on my backyard or whatever. But as far as doing something epic with it, I'm not going to be able to do that. But yeah, I want one, but that's where the big birds come into play. That's why I have
Yeah, it's a different market. It's a different market.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why they're chasing the vloggers on dirt bikes and motorcycles, because that's the kind of people that they want to get their shots from.
Sure.
BMXers and stuff going downhill, and the kind of the GoPro type community.
Now,
snowboarders.
What would be cool is if they built a drone with the sensor capability of the Skydio to use for commercial use.
That would be some serious equipment.
Say like a Phantom platform or another XYZ platform or something like that you could fly with without going into the the big boys.
Yeah.
That would make it to where a lot of companies out there, because I know dealing in construction, a lot of the companies here in Orange County where I live in California and stuff like that, they're not using the matrices. They're not using it. They're using the platforms that they use for just mapping and data imaging. It's strictly the Phantom 4.
Well, Pacific Gas and Electric in California bought 200 Inspire 2s with X7s. And I mean, firsthand, because the people that I work for are the ones that bought the drones to send out there, and it was Precision Hawk. And so Precision Hawk got the contract from PG&E, and they bought 200 Inspire 2s. I seen it go down. They bought, I think, 250 X7s, 1,000 batteries, generators, everything. Mel can even, chime in on that because he was actually out there flying those. But they were using Inspire 2s with X7s to do just RGB inspection. They didn't need a thermal inspection. But, that's the thing. I mean, they could have effectively used a Phantom 4 Pro if they wanted to, because of the sensor that's on there. A Mavic 2 Pro has a 20 megapixel sensor. They could have effectively used that drone, but they just didn't. With the way that you have to charge batteries in those cases, they wanted to get the TV50s and the TV55s for the Inspire 2s.
Right.
Otherwise, they would have bought M210s, because they were actually advised by several people to buy the M200 and put the X5S underneath of it. And then they were like, well, cost effective, those are $7,000 birds, and then we can get Inspire 2s for $3,500 if we're buying 200 of them. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think that, all these companies just have to have M210s and thermal cameras. But, I use my thermal camera for 1 picture, and I use my RGB for 4 pictures on every tower.
You look restless.
Hey, Greg.
That's quite a forehead.
Full screen, baby.
I'm just reading some stuff on OcuSync and just trying to find out if OcuSync over IP is possible or not.
Gotcha.
Well, Dan, I've got to hop out of here. Gentlemen, good to see you here. Thank you for having me on, and everybody in chat. Wish you all a great rest of your evening and a great week ahead.
You got it.
And stay flying. Be looking for that video, Brian.
I'm working on it.
Thank you, Steve.
Take care. Take
All right,
care,
brother.
See you,
Have a
Steve.
good night, Steve.
Okay, so you got the floor. Got the floor, Dan.
I have the floor.
I'm done talking about commercial drones and people bullshitting.
Oh, all right. Well, I was just here to slap some people around today and make sure everybody knew that we are gearing up to come for that ass.
Coming for it.
Just coming for it.
I'll
man.
tell you what's really going to hurt their feelings is when
you don't use lube.
Yeah, when if it does get good views and gets good traction and people watch it.
Good traction.
It's gonna hurt their feelings whenever I put them on blast that It's just really, this is the nuts and bolts. This is the legit truth, you know. Put the hand on the Bible, raise the right hand, you know, before swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and all that, you know. So
Welcome to drone worship court.
yeah, we're gonna get you. It's gonna hurt their feelings, you know.
Yeah. That's all right, man. Look, we'll have a booth. What's that booth at the end where you can tell all your sins and stuff? We'll have one of those handy in case one of them want to just cry it out on a stream, you know, let some of that out, whatever, you know, confessional. We'll have a confessional booth for them if they need it, you know.
You know, I think that the reason why all the major drone channels that's making those videos, I think, is that they're hoping, they're just sitting there just hoping that that company that they're talking about
Picks them up.
Yeah. And you know, yeah, if you got 50 or 100,000 subscribers, it might happen. But, you know, me personally, you know, with what marketing skills I have, if I saw through that bullshit, I would, like, you know, they have already done, I would give Skydio to somebody that has 500 subscribers and let them review it. Because and they done that, you know, they done that with the kid. He had 544 subscribers, and they give him a drone to make a video with. But another guy has 750,000 subscribers, and he's never flown a drone a day in his life, and he's just a GoPro vlogger, you know. So I've seen that.
Which is why they should give these things to all of us, you know, the small little guys. Send one my way.
There you go. I'm with that. However, most of you guys are drone people, and it'll never happen. Never. Mm-hmm. They are never going to send it to the drone people. Right. Well, and that's why they're not marketing it towards us. They're making it kind of towards us by saying we have a transmitter, and if you want to fly it, you can fly it. That seemed to be the only big concern from the first one, from the drone community the first time around, was that it didn't have a transmitter, and the flight time was short at 22 minutes, which I don't find 22 minutes to be a short flight time. So whoever said that is silliness. But these people have expectations that every single drone
comparing to DJI.
Right, they're comparing to DJI. They don't understand how much, and this is where I said it comes into being a tech person that understands.
It's a trade-off.
Exactly. It's
a trade-off. We were talking before about the CPU power to go and do some of the obstacle avoidance. Well, that's going to use more juice. You take that juice away from your flight time.
Exactly. That's why I said that this is the difference between a real reviewer and somebody who just wants to entertain you and talk about the drone. Well, you know, it's sad that they don't have this kind of flight time, you know. Well, but if you look at the specs, you understand why. You know, it has to do all this extra stuff that's going to take power to do it. So,
speaking of reviewing, though, you were talking the other day about the Wi-Fi nature of the Telomax, as I'm calling it for the moment. I'll call it the Telomax because I don't think it's a Mavic Mini. You reckon it's Wi-Fi, and I was just having a look at the physical layers, right? So have you guys heard of the 7-layer OSI model?
No.
Put your hand up if you have. Nope, no one.
Not
okay, the OSI model, it's 7 layers in every IT system that from the bottom to the top. If you've got an Ethernet cable, layer 1 is the physical layer, the physical piece of wire. Layer 2 is the switching layer, the MAC address layer. What was that? He's gone away.
It's a neon fancy lamp.
He's on a walkabout.
That's a neon fancy lamp.
It's awesome. I love lamp.
So, Greg.
Anyway, let me just finish this briefly. 802.11 whatever, Wi-Fi is the physical layer and the MAC address layer, and on top of that sits the network layer. Now, logically speaking, up above that is where all of the video and the command and control happens above there. There's no reason why you couldn't switch out the physical and the switching layer, the MAC address layer, the data link layer, for 802.11 something for a Wi-Fi connection. The existing OcuSync protocol combines all of that into one. If I was DJI, I'd definitely be looking at the protocol and saying, how can I switch out that bottom layer and put something else in there? That'd be a smart thing to do. Do we know? Can we find out until they release the product? No.
Greg, I'm gonna give you some numbers really quick, and you
Yeah.
tell me what you think about it. I've got to dig into my hard drive here.
I actually, before you go on there, Brian, I did try to get a hold of him first. That was that night that I sent you the message saying if you were available for ham radio licensing questions for frequency basis. So this is what we were going to discuss. Go ahead, man.
Yeah.
So you guys just talk away, tell a joke while I dig this out of my hard drive here.
Okay.
Can I just say this though? Forget the frequency. That's the physical layer, right? That means absolutely nothing. You can run anything you like in terms of a data link layer protocol on top of a physical layer signal. If it's in a spectrum that you're legally allowed to use. So Wi-Fi signal ranges and all sorts of other things, there's multiple things sharing that frequency range. Don't even bother looking at the frequency.
We looked into it from an aspect of how much it's going to be pushing through the antennas, which will give you a much better idea of whether it's going to be Wi-Fi, OcuSync, all this stuff like that. So when you're only talking about 4 dB antennas that are singular patch IPEX connector antennas, I'm going to go ahead and assume they're not pushing too much power through those antennas, which would lead me to believe that it's probably not going to be OcuSync based, more along the lines of Wi-Fi.
So that's 4 dB and antenna gain on the
antenna
on the
transmitter.
stage?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't know what your power output is.
No, we have
the transmitter. You've got both.
We do have that number too. So
Okay.
I've got all that. I'm having to dig it.
But
Because
even
I've got
then,
it so top secreted into my laptop that you have to have 4-step authentication process to get to it.
but even then, don't look at the power that it's transmitting, right? So aside from that, you've got the ability to do multiple frequencies and spread spectrums and all sorts of stuff where you're stitching all of those things together. Totally possible to get more data across it, but you wouldn't be able to have as many people flying in the same area, for example.
So do you think it's like a foldable 4K Spark?
I think it's going to be a difference between a Spark and a Mavic Air. That's where I think it's really going to sit.
So like in the middle of that?
I believe probably in the middle. I don't think it's going to quite be a Mavic Air, but I also don't think it's going to be a Spark either. I think it's going to be the in-betweener. I think this is the... go ahead.
It's under 250 grams.
Yeah.
Greg, do you have your pen, paper, notepad, and calculator ready?
Okay. By the way, before you go on that, Dan, you were talking I think it was you talking the other day about flying a 250 gram, and you said you still have to register it, and that's the only difference.
Yes.
Was that you who said that?
Yes, that was me that said that.
No, you don't
Okay,
have to
just to be... Sorry, you don't have to register it was the only difference. Sorry, my bad.
Right.
The other thing is, do you have in the US a sub 100 gram class?
I don't believe so, no.
Yeah, so that's the difference. I actually had that discussion with John about Australia last weekend. If it's sub 100 grams and the Tello fits into that category, 0 restrictions. From 100 grams to 250, you still have to fly in the right airspace.
Right.
Yeah. So below 100 grams is the magic. You can do anything you like anywhere.
Right.
But having said that, they've still got rules of endangering aviation safety. They've got a generic catch-all, so you don't go and fly your Tello into a turbine engine.
Right.
That's all it gets that far.
It'll get blown away before then.
Brian?
Listen, it's getting anal. It's just getting anal. It's getting ridiculous. All these rules and regs for drones and that shit. You know, the average Joe blog's 400 feet high. Like, you know, if you go any higher than that, you can't see anything anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good from that high. It actually looks a lot better if you stay close to objects to give perspective.
And
The Tello, you can't even fly at 50 feet away.
Shoot the bastard down.
Brian, you ready?
Brian.
Yeah, I'm just going through these files here and looking for. Because like I'm on page 50 so far, but my initial assessment is its actual dimensions are 289.1 millimeters long, 244.5 millimeters wide, and 54.9 millimeters high. So all this Mavic Pro stuff, Mavic Pro 2 stuff is a lot bigger than that. Like if you go and look at your millimeter dimensions of your Mavic 2 Pro and you look at the Spark, this kind of like falls right there in that little spectrum of in between. Now, it's not quite as small as a Spark, but it's not as big as a Mavic 2 Pro. It has a 5-volt 3-amp battery, and its frequency operation maximum is 40. Let's see. It goes from 5.92 all the way up to 26.5. So let me scroll down here to. It has a CPC antenna on the drone and the controller, which Dan can attest to what a CPC antenna is.
Yeah, so it's like a ribbon cable antenna, basically, with an IPEX connector.
It's a printed. It stands for computer printed something.
Right.
What's
it just most of these guys know what a ribbon cable setup is. It's a ribbon cable with a directional antenna on the end of it. It's just very thin, very lightweight, can be bent and put into certain places. So most of them, like I said, are either ribbon cable or IPEX connector. So it's very lightweight. It's not meant to handle tons of signal output. That's the whole thing that I'm coming down to.
Let me get down here to.
It's more. You see these antennas more with Wi-Fi based systems, like basic 2.4, maybe 5G at small power loads.
Yeah.
It's not Wi-Fi.
What's that?
Did you say 5.92 gigahertz up to 26.5?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now because I've got this stuff hidden so far in my computer. It's ridiculous.
Because if it's in the 5 gigahertz band, the end range of channel 165 is 5.825 gigahertz.
Highest operating frequency is 5825 megahertz and
gigahertz.
That's megahertz. That's highest operating frequency
of the drone.
I'm going to read you the full spec list here in just a second.
I think someone's made a mistake. It wouldn't be megahertz. It'd be gigahertz. Even like Wi-Fi bands, you've got 2.4 gig band, which is the old channels 1 to 11, and that's 2.412 all the way up to 2.462.
Right.
And in the 5 gigahertz band, you've got channels starting at channel 36, which is 5.180 gigahertz, up to channel 165, which is 5.825. Now, you said it started at 5.92 as the lowest frequency. Is that right?
It says 1 gigahertz to 26.5 gigahertz. It's GHZ.
Okay, that'd be a software-defined radio that's capable of transmitting in that range in some way, shape, or form, but it's probably then programmed at a application layer.
Okay, but I'm just scrolling through these documents that I have, and I'm getting to the actual operating ranges for each channel.
This is fun.
Yeah, that's why somebody's supposed to be telling a joke. If I would have known I was going to pull these up, I would have had them saved off to the side.
If you go to Chuck Norris's house, he has a beautiful bear rug when you first walk through the door. Bear's not dead, it's just afraid to move. was that a titter I detected?
I tittered a little bit.
You tittered? Did you titter a little bit?
Yeah. If you want a joke, I can give you a New Zealand joke.
What do you call
Why
an
a joke?
Australian with 500 girlfriends?
What?
A shepherd.
That's awesome.
Why are murders so hard to solve in New Zealand? Because there's no dental records and all the DNA matches.
No, mate, that's the ferals that you get in Australia. That's a feral joke, that is. And we don't get ferals over here. We get bogans, but we don't get ferals.
This is actually kind of fun to watch a New Zealander go against an Aussie. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm a country bumpkin. Greg's just a city slicker. I'll show you. Look. I'll show you. I'll flip the camera.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's
Yeah,
looking
where's the
straight up
sheep?
Whiskey Billy. So there you go. Can you do that in Sydney?
Yeah, I'm actually south of Sydney, so that's fine.
Nice. Oh, Telstra's better there then.
Years ago, before they called it Telstra, they used to call it Telecom, but we used to call it Terracom because you've got to be afraid of them. You've got some stuff, Brian, that you want to talk about, but you muted yourself and took your camera off.
I said it's on my flash drive. I just figured it out what my problem is because I've got 2 files. I'm going to go get my flash drive. I'll be right back. So you guys do what y'all got to do. And when I get back, I'll have it on my computer by then.
Okay.
Jay Ortiz with a question that we probably won't be able to answer yet because none of us have the bird, but let's see what he says here. Give me 1 sec. Jay Ortiz, does the Skydio 2 have Roth when the battery gets down to like 20-25%? Return to home, huh? I think you were going for RTH. Roth, I'm not sure about Roth.
Return on the house.
Yeah, there you go. I would say next time maybe LVC warnings or return to H. Yeah, one of those. I'm gonna go ahead and assume this is MIT we're talking about here. If I had to make an assumption, I would probably say yes, it's gonna have a smart return. And not only that, but as a fail-safe as well. Now the real question is here, is it going to be progressive return to home? Meaning is it going to lock onto your phone signal or the beacon signal and come to you to land? That's the real question.
Yeah, if the whole point of the drone is to fly around a moving target, it has to go to that target.
But at the end of the day, who cares? That's just software. You can program it to anything you bloody like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can get it to behave like something else if you wanted to.
However, I'm not sure I would trust most DJI products to do what the Skydio does in the fashion that it does it. And
agreed. Look, it's got more sensors, right? So it's only right that it's able to do obstacle avoidance better than
That's its main feature. That's what it was designed to do. Yeah, right.
I love the video of the guy on the quad in the forest, and the drone is like it's got the DJI drone right next to the Skydio, and all of a sudden the DJI drone just has no idea where he went, starts hunting. Trying to follow him.
And that's the difference with having the beacon. Now here's the real thing though. There's nothing that says DJI can't create a beacon and just add it in.
They made a mistake big time by not doing that. Even if they don't have the obstacle avoidance, their existing obstacle following capabilities were limited by its ability to do the video processing.
Yeah.
Right? They can add right now a beacon to their existing drones without any modification to them.
Right. Yeah,
well, like the DJI drones, whenever they fly out to do like a drody, like you'll notice the little the green square turns into a blue square. When it turns into a blue square, it's tracking the controller, not looking at you anymore.
Yep.
However,
it's got the capability on the existing DJI drones to follow a controller. It's already got that capability. So just make a new controller that's about that big.
here's something cool that they won't be able to do. I don't care how good they decide to put in a beacon and do this with DJI. Not only can it do tandem tracking, but it can do tandem tracking while attached to the beacon. This is something I just found out. So you can have it tracking the beacon and select 2 other targets on the screen. And what it'll do is try to keep all 3 targets
that's awesome.
in a presented image. So if you had 3 people on dirt bikes or 4-wheelers, it's going to try to extend itself as wide as possible to keep each one of them in frame as best as possible.
Okay. So in terms of how is it doing that? You can do it 2 ways. You can have multiple beacons, which would be a really simple way of doing it because you definitely don't lose your targets then.
Right.
But because they've got the graphics processing unit and because they've got these wide field of view tracking cameras that are going and stitching together their view of reality, it's almost impossible to lose a target if you've at least got reference to one of the targets that are going to be followed.
Yep.
With all the cameras around that drone, I don't understand why we don't have a 360 drone yet. Like the Insta3, like I've been attaching 360 degree cameras to my drones for years, and I still don't understand why that's not a thing yet.
Doesn't that get boring though? I always find that it's really blurry. Like even when you put in the VR stuff, it's like everything just looks so warped. It's like, I don't know, man. I can't get into it. You can't see long range distances. You can't everything just kind of looks garbled, you know?
Well, it's not for VR. It's more for like now people are using 360 cameras to capture everything at the same time and then go back and crop their footage later.
Yeah, it's just a video effect, really.
Yeah, like my unique hexacopter, it's got a 360 degree camera, so I can just hold the drone where I want to and then point the camera wherever I want. Because instead of like pointing the entire drone, which takes a lot more battery power, it'd be awesome to just put my drone up in the air wherever I want to, and then capture what I'm flying towards and what I flew away from, and get another shot pointing right, all in the same 20-minute, 30-minute flight time. I could pull hours worth of footage out of that if I could do that.
Come on.
While we're waiting for him, just going back to the topic of the data link and all that kind of stuff. The frequency is the only thing that it affects is licensing and what else you're going to compete with in terms of noise, right? So let's assume it is Wi-Fi band. It can be around their happy days. Then the next question is, what is the width of the channels that they're going to be using? Are they allowed to use more than one channel at the same time? Are they spreading their spectrum across a bunch of channels and picking the best out of that? If they're doing all of that, they can be potentially doing that over Wi-Fi. There's no reason why they couldn't do that. Then on top of that, you can overlay the existing OcuSync application and network protocols over the top of that. But I guess we won't know until we see it.
Everybody say goodnight to Andrew. He is calling it a night.
See you, Andrew.
Yep. He is toodalooing.
Toodaloo.
Andrew,
what was that? The neon happy lamp? What was that thing called?
Yeah, it's a neon fancy lamp.
Fancy lamp.
Ooh.
Put that in your fancy pants.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's awesome.
Can I borrow your fancy pants, Sean?
Yep.
Craig, stick it over your head and say, I've got an idea.
It's uploading, man.
I got 3 legs in my pants waiting for you. I don't know where that went.
3 legs in your pants waiting for you.
So where do you normally hang out, Sean? Who's your YouTube fan base? Who's your entertainment channels? Who do you watch? What do you get into, man?
I live in Nashville, Tennessee. So the only thing I have to fly around is like mountains and like trees and stuff.
Gotcha.
where I hang out is pretty much my office and my home. I do my YouTube channel on my lunch break and at nighttime. So that's about all I do.
Any channels you frequent on a daily?
Not necessarily on a daily. I spent some time on Claude's live stream. I don't know. I kind of bounce around, to be honest. I used to watch Irix Guy all the time. Then I started my channel around the same time Everyday Dad started his channel. But he is well surpassed any viewer base I have. I'm pretty close to Ken Heron. So I went to a meetup at an abandoned airstrip, and we raced our drones down the airstrip and did like check the speed on them. But yeah, for the most part, I kind of just find things that I'm interested in and do videos on them.
That's the best way to be.
Yep. Actually, the last video I did was in response to the conversation we had on Claude's channel, me and you. I did the FPV with the regular Nafi, and showed and showed how it there's the two original flight modes, sport and film, lock the horizon, and then the two new modes, cinematic and racing. They don't lock the horizon, so the whole thing banks.
Right. Well, yeah, but it does it so smoothly. Oh, it's gorgeous,
and it hovers. So like it's not an FPV drone that you have to like control the entire time. You can have fun with it and then let go of the sticks, and it'll just go into a hover. It's pretty sweet.
Which is what we're hoping that at some point, hopefully the Skydio 2 will be able to lock the gimbal, and acro mode will be active for autonomous, so it can fly over the top of you while you do something. See what I'm saying? Sweet. And make it roll right out of it smoothly. That would just be absolutely killer, man. That would be that's what every FPV person wants, man. I'm telling you right now, if they could get that kind of footage while they're out doing drifting or while they're out on their snowboards or bikes or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Now, if I could fly up the side of a building with my Peridot Nafi, then I'd be sold. Like,
yeah,
that's all I need.
Right.
Or like come down the building and then go under a bridge, and then I can't do any of that stuff.
Heck yeah. I guess Brian.
Let Greg look at that for a minute.
Yeah. What did I hear?
Screen share, and you want to let Greg look at that for a minute?
What?
He's trying to screen share.
Oh, is he? Hold on. Oh, I see it. Okay.
Whoa, Inception.
Are you sure you should be showing this, man?
Showing what?
Brian? Sure.
Yeah, so you got 20 or 40 meg mode. And what, it's only got one channel.
Can he hear?
Does he know he's muted?
I don't know.
He wasn't muted before.
Yeah, I'm muted because I'm doing something, but I can hear you guys. So do you want to look at that for a minute?
Yeah. Are you sure we should be looking at this stuff, man? You're not getting in trouble?
My name is Joe.
Okay, Joe.
Hello, Joe. What do you know?
What's your favorite color, Blue?
5.755, which is right in the middle of the 5 gigahertz band, but it's only using one channel in 40 megahertz mode. So from what I can tell, 5805, 5825. Oh, that's frequency. Oh, okay. Sorry, 2 channels in 40 megahertz mode, 5755 and 5795. Yeah, I don't think it's Wi-Fi, but it's using some kind of shared frequencies. There's a few places around there that. I've got a picture. I'll see if I can post a link to it.
It's just so weird that. You know how to end your share? There you go. Oh.
I've just posted a link in the private chat. I haven't got screen sharing at the moment. Can you put that up, Dan?
Not really, but I can try. What are we trying to do now? You want me to? Oh my gosh! Of course it's not. Of course it's not going to let me copy it. Why would it let me copy it? There we go. Copy. So you want me to screen share this? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, just click the link first and then go to, there's a kind of a colored picture in there, the radio spectrum.
Okay. Picture, StreamYard, screen share, in it to win it, share, boom. Okay. Talk dirty.
Gigahertz. Okay, so you got 3 up to 30 in the second block from the bottom. And
are you defragging your computer?
Jeez, oh Pete, what is going on here?
5 point.
Looks like my blood test.
So in the second block from the bottom, that's starting at 3 gigahertz, and you go along, and it was about 5.7, which is showing radio location, maritime, meteorological aids. That doesn't make sense. I'm going to have to find another. Forget that picture. Make it go away.
Goodbye, picture.
All right, guys, I might have to head out. It's been fun.
Good talking to you, bro. Thanks for popping in. Hope you enjoyed yourself. I'm not gonna lie, Oz, you have a lot of background noise. What is going on there? I'm hearing
That's
all
not me.
sorts of... Every time you mute, it disappears. It's weird.
That's not me, because I can hear the background noise coming from someone else.
Oh, wait a minute now. Oh, wait, Kiwi. I'm still hearing background noise, huh? Oh, well.
Is it me? Let me mute.
No, it's not you. Where's that echo coming from?
I can hear it.
Yeah, I hear it too, and everybody's muted. Oh, except Kiwi. We can hear his car. We can tell he's driving. Because as soon as he mutes, that goes away. But I still hear the echo. You hear it? Mike, mute real fast. All right, let's try it now. No, still hear it. That's so weird.
And I'm looking at my VU meters. It's not coming from me.
Yeah. Huh. I wonder where that's coming
Someone's spying on you, Dan.
I've had my mic muted for the last couple minutes.
from. I know. It was just me and Greg, and I've got earphones on with a with a mic. It's not.
There you go. I'll put on noise reduction and a limiter for you.
Now I hear ambient space noises.
I'm going to have to buy a Rolls Royce.
Is that any better?
Nah, don't worry about it. It is what it is. I still hear it, but it's all good.
Anyway, look, I've had a little bit of a look around. I'd need to do some more digging, but I'll do it another time. Get him to get me.
This is why we surround ourselves with people that are knowledgeable, because I may not know, but you see what I'm saying? Greg might, and Kiwi might, people that are knowledgeable. Whoa, that's really loud.
Channel bonding in Wi-Fi. Here we go.
That was me because I had to unmute and then mute my other thing going. So
Oh,
anyway, yeah. All right. So I'm back, and the stuff that I showed you there, that's called doing your homework, and no drone
Yeah,
channel
it's
does
just
that.
the FCC stuff, yeah?
It is, and no drone channel does the homework where they actually pull those screenshots up and show them to people on their channels. They just read something from Drone DJ and say Mavic Mini coming up next, and it's going to be awesome. But that's it. You don't get anybody on there actually showing those shots and saying this is the megahertz that it's going to be running in. So an intelligent person like yourself that knows megahertz and bands, I don't fool with that stuff, can say,
This
hey,
much I can tell you. Right? Just let me
probably-
jump in for a second. The frequencies it's called the Uni 3 band, which is one of the 5.7 gig bands. It's got channel 149 is at 5745. And it's got the next channel up as 5765. And you said one of those frequencies was 5755. So if you are running at that frequency, it will clash with Wi-Fi, but it's not Wi-Fi. There's a definitive answer.
So are we looking at Lightbridge or are we looking at OcuSync?
Don't know.
How do you tell the difference between those two?
I haven't reversed those to have a look at them in detail, so I don't know.
If we get a chance to have a look at that,
I don't have a Mavic.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to get one.
Yeah.
Well, that's
so,
all right.
so my take on it is that it's going to be basically the same thing that the Mavic 2 Pro has. As far as it's going to be running on the same band, same frequencies, and like I told Dan the other day, I'm pretty confident that it's going to have OcuSync 2.0, and there's speculation that there's going to be OcuSync 3.0 and all that. I know what I deal with on a commercial level, and I know what, like the M210, I know it's going to have that ADBS in it, because everything after 2020 has to have that's over 250 grams. So if it's right at 250 grams or above, it's going to have that. So the Mavic 3.
You mean ADSB?
ADSB, yeah, it's going to have that. Yeah. The M210 has it. And
I don't know why they put that in there. That was the biggest waste of space. ADSB should be shot, dead, cremated, and never seen again. Even forget drones for a minute. In general aviation, it's the most spoofable protocol I've ever seen. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but actually, let me go back to the whole drone ID thing.
Let me widescreen you. This is going to be good. Hold on a sec. Okay.
The whole protocol with drone ID, where you've got the position of your drone being communicated. There's a guy by the name of Kevin Finisterre, and he wrote some code that can simulate a drone at a particular location. And for the purpose of a proof of concept, he did what he calls Skydix. So he went and got a Raspberry Pi and started drawing flight paths that looked like penises if someone was monitoring that with the DJI Aeroscope system. And he's released this code publicly, so you can go and get a Raspberry Pi, download the code, take it to, I don't know, the White House lawn and turn it on. And all of a sudden, people inside the White House are going to go and have a look at penises on their screens as if someone's flying that flight path. Now, here's the problem. ADSB and Drone ID are both protocols that you can, they're not secure protocols. So someone else can spoof it, someone else can pretend to be that protocol. So therefore, there's no reason why someone couldn't do the same thing with ADSB frequencies, and all of a sudden you've got pictures of Skydix that turn out that, it's saying it's a 747, but it's going and drawing Skydix on the screen. The only reason that hasn't happened is because, unlike Drone ID, there's safety of people involved, right? So people don't do that because they will get their asses seriously screwed over if they go and do that. and that interferes with safety. So my point is, why use ADS-B, a protocol that is inherently insecure, on drones instead of saying, let's go reset, restart? How do we fix ADS-B to start with, and how do we go and put that onto drones so that we make sure that we can see each other and not have those kind of problems?
Because it's 30 years old, tried and true, tested, and they don't have any money for anything new.
Right. Okay.
And the other thing is, we don't get paid. We don't get paid as customers to fix their problem.
Greg, what do you think about it?
Why doesn't DJI go and take a step outside of the drone space and say, hey, let's actually fix this once and for all? We know that ADS-B is brain dead. Why don't we take a leading step and say, here's the replacement for ADS-B that should be used, a secure protocol using some digital certificates and encryption across the link that can't be impersonated? Then everyone is happy.
They don't think outside the box, Greg.
They've got remote ID, UUID, and ADS-B on the enterprise drones already.
Yeah, but you don't want ADS-B on the enterprise drones because it's already spoofable. That's the point, right? Why use that?
Yeah, I know.
It's my understanding that the ADS-B is a receiver that's going to be
correct. Yeah. Absolutely. Which
will identify aircraft, not for it to identify the drones.
No, but you can do ADS-B transmission from if you've got the appropriate hardware. And if the law allowed you to do it, you could actually put an ADS-B signal out of this is where my drone is. But why would you want to do that? Because already someone can go down to your local Radio Shack and buy some equipment and put out frequencies on the same frequencies as ADS-B and say, there's a 747 right now crashing down into the White House lawn. You don't want to use that protocol. It's out of date, and people who are serious about understanding this already realize it should be, end of life. Joke.
It's been beat to death on Drone and Sundry. You know that, right? I've been
on there a few times. Yeah.
Hey, anybody want to see my new logo?
Sure, why not?
Is it a Skydick?
Yes, it is.
What's up, Brian?
I have to screen share. Hey man, what's going on? Let me pull it up.
Drone on's having a rough time getting back to me, man. I don't know what he's got going on. I'm trying, buddy. I'm trying. Let's see here. But so unicorns.
Yeah, hey, this is the new unicorn rider thing here. Let me I gotta minimize that, and then I gotta close that out, and then I gotta go back to screen sharing.
You just need Neil Patrick Harris on a unicorn if you're going to talk anything unicorns.
Neil Patrick Harris.
NPH, man. You got to have NPH.
The only bad thing about it is you're not going to hear the audio.
Wielding
I don't think Kiwi and Greg know who that is.
NPH? What would NPH do? Even though, when Neil Patrick Harris came out of the closet, it was like, what? And then I was so accepting of it. It's weird, man. He is.
Doogie Howser.
Huh?
Yeah.
Doogie Howser.
Yeah.
What the hell? That's for you, Greg.
My phone. Probably an Indian scammer.
Dan, you ready?
Listen, guys, listen.
We've been trying to get in touch with you. However, we are going to disconnect your landline and internet connection within 24 hours as the NBN services are now available in your locality. So, for uninterrupted services, please press 1 to get yourself connected to the technician.
Thank you for your response. We would now like to transfer you to a poll taker for just a few more questions.
A poll taker?
Thank
Thank you for calling the Telstar Technical Department. This is Peter. How can I help you?
Hi, Peter. What can I do for you?
So some past couple of days, we have receiving some lots of errors and the warning hacking reports from your internet connection. That is the reason we are disconnect to this internet line and provide you the new internet connection with the security. Okay.
Okay. Which center are you calling from, did you say? Where were you calling from? I just asked him where he's calling from. He couldn't even handle that.
Oh, that's good.
He sounded very, very real.
Very, very real.
Very, very real to me.
Good, but they're not my sunglasses.
We only need the help.
Okay, Brian.
Hey, Greg, in your email, I sent you those filings.
I was just going on the FCC database, but you just saved me looking.
It's only 5.8. It's not 2.4.
Yep.
Bob, we can just all go over to their country and start
Test
scamming
report,
them
label,
back.
confidentiality letter, POA.
No,
SAR
open the
report,
second one.
SAR.
It's got all the reports.
Literally, we should just start calling them and scamming their country back. You guys up for it?
Oh, but I have so much fun when they call me.
I do
I
too, but it
enjoy
gets really annoying when you get 50 calls a day.
Yeah.
You know, it starts getting just too much, man.
And the Canadian pharmacy, does anybody get those?
No.
Let me know whenever you're ready, Dan.
Brian, hit me, buddy.
Am I up there yet?
Nah, he's been trying to do this for a minute. Give me 1 sec, guys. All right. So what is this now?
This is the new logo intro that I worked on. You ready?
Okay. See what you got, bro.
Yeah, it's up, Brian.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't, you know.
It's a little lacking some words in there.
Yeah.
What else can we put in there?
Get started.
What else can we put in there? Middle finger. That always works. Good one.
Yeah.
FU to the clickbait.
Yeah. Hashtag FU clickbait.
Right. I'm with it. I'm with it.
FUC.
Look what Bob wrote.
What?
I always answer them and say it's the county jail.
Oh my gosh, I hate that this thing just like stops showing me chat. It does this all the time. I'm getting StreamYard's is having some issues. My channel.
I'm gonna go to the live chat.
Pop out the stupid chat.
Yep. Right, I'm gonna shoot off to the cave and do some shit while the sun still shines. Half the day is gone already.
Frequency band declaration. That would be the one.
You know what though, Bob? They have a string of numbers they call from.
Here we go.
Yeah, so the way that works is basically you receive a call that just hangs up on you if you stay on the line and say hello. You go, hello, hello, and then it hangs up on you. That number is then taken and sold off in a large quantity of other numbers, right, in bulk to a company that then puts them in their robot calling list. And then if you don't answer, the number gets resent back to another person who then purchases that number. And it's purchased around up to 5 times before it's discarded and then picked up again later on. Okay, so it's weird how that whole system works, but it's all done through a bot. The only time you actually talk to a human is when you actually get one of them on the phone. So they don't realize how many times a day you're being called. You know what I mean? That's why they're not ready for the being blasted part of it. When you're like, God fucking shit, I want to fucking, you know, and they're like, excuse me, sir, it's not that big of a deal.
But you know what's fun though? What's fun is when you have friends who work for telephone companies and they work out who these people are in terms of the call flows. and they send it back to them.
Right.
So every time they place an outbound call, it's an inbound call into them. Their phone rings. And hello, we're going to turn off your internet service. Press 1 to be connected.
But you can do that, right?
I know someone who can.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So check this out. Like about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I was at work. I was working, and my phone rang from a like a United States number. It was like a 727.
I'll be back, guys. I'll be back. Go ahead. I'm gonna watch it. I'm just gonna watch it on my phone. I gotta go do something. All right.
And this guy from India, he says, "Hey, I need to speak to Bob or whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, he's busy right now. Can I take a message?" Because I knew it was a scam. He says, "Well, I'm calling from your preferred pharmacy and your online pharmacy, and I need to get your medication sent out to you." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool, man." I was like, "Well, I can handle that because he'll be back in a few minutes." And he says, "Well, we got what you ordered here. We just need you to go down to Walmart in Western Union. It's $1,000." And I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "What kind of drugs am I getting?" He was like, "Well, I see you ordered the hydrocodone and the Viagra." And he said, "We need $1,000 for these pills." And I said, "Really?" I was like, "Okay." I said, "Well, I'm going to head down to Walmart right now and wire you that $1,000. He said, "We just need an address to ship the medicine to you." So I Googled the DEA headquarters in Washington, D.C., Googled their address and their direct line number. And so I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm on my way to Walmart right now. I'm going to go send you this $1,000 for this stuff." And he's like, "What's the address?" So I give it to him. And apparently they're on top of their game as far as their conning goes. And so he Googled that address and he goes, "You know what you can do? You can suck on my big fat penis." And hung the phone up.
When they first started those, that was amazing, though. They actually expected you to get up, stay on the phone, go to someplace that has Western Union, and wire them the money.
Yeah, or buy a Apple Play card or something.
Yeah.
I had that credit card lower your interest rate guy call me not too long ago, and he says, "Yeah, we're gonna lower your interest rate." And I said, "Really?" I said, "For which card?" He was like, "Visa, MasterCard." And I said, "Well, in America, Visa and MasterCard is two different things." He goes, "Well, we're going to lower the interest rate for Visa, MasterCard." And I said, "Okay." He said, "Just give me the numbers to the credit card and we'll lower your interest rate." So I had one of those little $100 prepaid gift card, Visa cards you get from Walgreens. And so I pulled it out of my wallet and it only had like $1 left on it. And I read him all the numbers and he's like, I'm having trouble. These numbers are not going through." And I said, "Why? What are you trying to do? Make a purchase on it?" He's like, "We have to make a purchase of 50 cents and then credit 50 cents to know that the card is activated." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well," I said, I guess my card's maxed out and I don't need my interest rate lowered." And he got so mad at me. He kept saying, "Give me a different card." He was like, "Give me a different card. Give me a different card. I'm going to lower your interest rate. This is your last chance." I said, "Well, I'll take my chances and deal with the 23% APR." But yeah, here, anytime you hear that Indian voice on the phone, it's a bad day.
No, it's a good day. You have fun.
I like to mess with them. I'm like, "Can you help me? I'm stuck. I've been kidnapped. I'm in the basement of this guy's house. I've got tape all over me and the door's locked. I can't get out." He's like, "What's the address?" I'm like, "Oh shit, man, he's coming back. I gotta hold on. I gotta be quiet a minute." And then I'll start whispering.
Okay.
I'll be like, "He's coming."
Okay, I've double checked. Okay, the frequencies 5745, 5765, 5785, 5805, and 5825. They're all in the Uni 3 band, which is a Wi-Fi band. They are 100% standard Wi-Fi frequencies. You've got, so those 5 channels, they're in either 5 megahertz or 20 megahertz channel width mode. In 40 megahertz channel width mode, it's doing 5755, which is right in between the first 2 channels. And the other one is 5795, which is exactly the same again. So it's just kind of doing a bigger spectrum spread either side of those 2 frequencies. It is confirmed to be a 5 gig Wi-Fi link, 100% confirmed.
On the stuff that I showed you all ago?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It's
so
Wi-Fi.
the Mavic Mini is Wi-Fi. It's not OcuSync 2.0.
Well, again, what I said before, you can have different layers and you can layer things on top of each other. What is OcuSync, or, you know, it can be layered on Lightbridge. You can layer that on top of another physical and switch kind of Mac layer. It's possible to do that. Maybe that's their next generation. That way they don't have to worry about reinventing the lower layers. I'd be very surprised if they didn't do that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, I mean, you can probably attest to this. The M210, it works off a Lightbridge. The Sendence controller works off a Lightbridge. And, you know, the distance on it is good. You know, I mean, I don't fly it over, you know, 1,000 feet away on, you know, on a beautiful day at 300 foot in the air. But
what makes Lightbridge good? Let me ask you that question. Right. So I know
there's no delay in the video. I know that. It's instantaneous and it's clear.
Okay. And what are the frequencies they use? Is it the clarity?
5.8 switching.
Yeah. So it's bonding the two together and it's saying, I'm going to use a little bit of both to try and get the best overall picture out.
Right.
Whereas this is just pure Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I just had it out 3 miles today. It worked fine.
Do you have an RTK system sitting on a tripod behind you?
Yeah, that is RTK.
Okay, that's what I thought. Is your M210's RTK, or is that for a Phantom 4 RTK?
No, it's the M210.
Okay.
Version 1. They still haven't got version 2 going yet. Did you know that, Brian? They're having all kinds of problems with it.
I've seen version 2, but it was a dealer demo, but I haven't actually flown one. I mean, I know the strobes on it's cool. That's about it, you know.
I use the Arc 2s, man. They're fine.
Yeah.
I was using these stupid little strobons, and then I went to the Arc 2s.
What are you using this? Oh, no, not those. The one that I have is it's the same one that goes on top of the AIS locators.
The DS30 light?
Yeah, I'm using a DS30.
I like these. I Velcro them on, no problem.
Well, the new Loon Cube strobes look like they might be pretty decent. The ones that Ken Herron was showing the other night.
Yeah. I don't know. Can they go to distance?
I mean, they say you can get 3 nautical miles out of them, but I just don't know how bright they are. Because I seen that Disco Phantom 4 video that he had, and they didn't look like they were as bright as that DS30.
These Arc 2s, I mean, you can use them as a damn flashlight. And then
that's completely whiting the screen out when that thing flashes.
Then it's got the stay on thing. I mean,
You got one color? Do you just run the whites, or are you running blues, reds, whites, and all that? Or
I run the red, white, green.
Red, white, do you? Okay.
Wow, now I'm seeing dots.
Do you have a daylight? Do you got a daylight waiver also?
I have a daylight waiver and a certificates of authorization for my area.
Do you? Okay.
It's not hard to get if you look it up. Yeah.
When I applied for my daylight waiver, I mean, it was like, you know, they wanted to know what kind of a ground station, a lighted ground station that I had, you know, like a area where I was working from with, you know, like big lights to where you could actually like see from the drone looking back at the lights in case of an emergency or whatever. And yeah, it was, I don't know. My first one I got turned down for, it was kind of tough, you know, because they had all these questions in the FAA section where you apply for it, and
as far as your eyes, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, but whenever I got on with SMG, the COA that I had, that you know, it covered me and all my drones anywhere that we were working on storm and power line inspections and all that, because we were getting near prisons and you know, like the airports and stuff. And then there's, you know, some top secret bunkers that's all over the eastern United States that nobody knows about for government officials to go hide in the event of an emergency. And you don't realize where those are at until you're flying a drone near one, and they let you know real quick.
Those are kind of tough to do in Florida because we're a sandbar. So they're above ground, and then they just push sand up to them.
Yeah. Where are you at?
In Melbourne on the eastern coast.
Okay. Well, I was actually working in Daytona Beach. I was doing that line down there for FP&L, and we had 3,000 and like some odd KML files that we were doing from, you know, where New Smyrna Beach is.
Yep.
From New Smyrna Beach all the way back up to Daytona right after that hurricane. And it was just a visual inspection to make sure there wasn't any damage.
Right.
And,
I was doing them for Dorian.
There's a military top secret facility that's off of I-4 right there where Deltona's at. It's right before you get to Deltona, and you can actually see it on Google Maps, and it looks like some kind of like Egyptian hieroglyph in the sand or whatever, but it's a top secret military testing facility, and we were actually doing the power lines that goes to that facility. And my drone wouldn't take off. It was just, I would pull the sticks together and I would get that message that says no fly zone, and had to email DJI and get the passcode and all that.
See, that's what pisses me off. I had 6 emergency COAs, and still somebody forgot one of them. And I went near a regional airport, Merritt Island Regional Airport, which is a nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a recreational flyers hang out there, that type of thing. And that came up. And what worries me is I've seen too many videos where guys' drones have just gone straight down, landed on them, you know?
So go and install no limit drones. Problem solved.
I would love to put no limit drones on a Mavic or an M210 or a Phantom 4. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, go for it.
But that's why I'm thinking I really want to, you know, people are fighting me, but I really want to get that unique going. I want to get that H920 in the air.
Well, what's his name? Claude has one. He never uses it.
An H920?
Yeah.
The Tornado?
Yeah. He's got the 500 and the 920.
Because the one you know, they make 2 920s. They make a Pro and then a standard 920. The standard 920 has a CG04 on it, and the 920 Pro has a gimbal that you can put like a DSLR, Sony, Canon, GH5 or whatever.
Yeah, it was supposed to be just like the GH4, right?
Yeah. But you know, with that ST24 controller, I mean that thing's pretty sweet. But it's all carbon fiber. It's got 27-minute flight time. It's just finding a brand new one in the box would be tough. I'd have to go to Amazon or eBay or somewhere and find one that's very low time, or and obviously I'm going to have battery issues if it's 2 or 3 years old and it's not been used and charged and stuff, But yeah, I want an H920, and then are you going to the UAV conference in Las Vegas at the end of the month? No. See, I'm going to that, and Unique's going to be there, Alltel's going to be there, DJI's going to be there.
That's
Skydio,
the commercial one, yeah. Right?
Yeah, Skydio's actually sponsoring the lunch that day. I got an email a while ago, and it said Skydio was the sponsor of lunch, and Pix 4D was the sponsor for dinner. So I guess I'm having lunch on Skydio. But it's October the 28th to the 30th at the Westgate out there in Las Vegas.
Sorry, guys.
Tomas, A-Data cards are the best. And go to Drop, or what used to be called Mass Drop, and they sell them for about $100, which is cheap because they're normally like $2 something.
Ron, how's it hanging?
Hey, Dan, how are you, buddy?
Ooh, I apologize. I had to walk away for a sec. I have my 2 hernias. My other one got repaired. That's I'm dealing with, but my umbilical cord hernia pushes out, and then you have to kind of push it all back in. That hurts.
You still have your umbilical cord
hernia, yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, when I sit here in the chair and I lean over and I do things, it forces stuff out of a hole that's ripped open. So.
Hey, did you get that little drone going? That little FPV drone? Did you get that worked out?
Yeah, so I gotta charge the batteries, man. I just been trying to knock all these reviews out to get the companies off my back here.
Because I'm going to be in Florida sometime right after that UAV expo. So
if these batteries aren't any good, man, they're cheap. We can just get some. But I don't know. It's been forever since I've flown those little batteries. We'll see.
Or before. One of the two.
I got to disappear in a sec. Just before I go, did you hear the summary, Dan?
No,
about the radio thing. It's definitely 100% Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Definitely, without a doubt. So there's 5 channels in 5 or 20 megahertz mode, and the frequencies in their test report are exactly the same as those 5 frequencies, and on the 40 meg channel width, it's right in between, yada, yada, yada.
Which
100%.
which is what we were talking about with Jeff Sills. Jeff also came to the conclusion he thought it might be Wi-Fi. I just based that off the antennas. I mean, those antennas are very light antennas. They're not really designed to push hard signal band at all. So it's I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of unhappy people when that drone drops. You know, you're gonna get probably less equivalent of what the Mavic Air gets, and probably a little better than what the Spark had to offer. So.
Yeah, you're not getting far distances.
Right. It's not, like the Spark, if you amplify the antennas with parabolic dishes, you could go a mile or 2 out. I think I made a 2-mile flight on the Spark, but that was with no interference out in the middle of a cornfield, took it all the way out as far as, battery life would allow me, and then brought it back. That's a 2-mile flight. That's 1 mile out, 1 mile back.
People still don't believe in those $10 parabolic dishes.
Oh, they
I
work
swear by them.
Phenomenal, because it takes a 360 signal and puts it all in one direction, and you can't explain stuff to people that just don't. Never mind. I'm not getting into that.
Rocket science.
Unicorn chasing again. People that just try to explain things that don't know.
When the Phantom 4 came out, I ran and bought those parabolics because when I couldn't get down the block, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
What's up, Ron?
I was just going to ask you them. I mean, what sounds like you're a true believer in them?
Oh, the parabolics? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cheap, and they really work.
Big time. There's tests you can see where people have a I don't know what the tool is that they're measuring it with. It's a frequency tester of some kind, but they put it in front of it, right? And they don't have the parabolic dish on there. You can see what it's supplying when it's placed in front of it, right? And it's a 360. It's omnidirectional normally when you get these things, which is why you only get 4,000 feet out of them if you're talking Wi-Fi, right? Now, if you're in a low Wi-Fi interference area, even without the parabolic dishes, you'll probably get to around the mile marker, maybe just a tad under that. But as soon as you put those parabolic dishes on there, it is taking that signal and directing it in a path like this. It's just a small V path. I know you guys can't see that, but it's putting it out like that, and it's just projecting that signal. And so if you turn just a little bit away from it and the drone was still going that way, you would lose all signal, especially when you're out far. You know what I'm saying? With a parabolic dish on there. So it's the same thing with the Solo. When I have those patch antennas on there, those 7 dB patch alpha antennas, I can go for miles with the Solo. I mean, miles with those antennas. But if I even budge my transmitter 3 inches to the left while I'm on a long range flight, I'm losing signal, man. And I'm gonna have to keep doing this until I get it back. So they have their uses, especially for Wi-Fi. I think the best example is the Phantom 3 standard. Even if you decided not to do the Magic Powers 5 from 9 dB to 24 dB output and modify that signal band, right, with the soft mod, if you just added a parabolic dish, you were still getting 1.5 miles in most occasions that we ran it in. with the parabolic dish and the 9 dB output soft patch that you do to it, right? It would go, hell, Ron took his out like 3.5 miles out in the middle of nowhere with his Phantom 3. So, those parabolic dishes do make an extreme amount of difference. It's crazy to see how well they actually do.
You got to remember,
so
even
simple.
on the Sendence remote controller, you only have one skinny little wire. I don't know what the gauge is going up as your antenna. Just because you have a flat panel there that makes it look like a real big antenna, it's still only one wire going up the middle of it.
Exactly. Well, no, see, Bob, technically you're not boosting the signal. You're just taking
shaping it. You're shaping it.
You're shaping the signal. Essentially, you're not amplifying the signal at all. You're just taking it and putting it all in one direction. Now, I guess in a form, you could say that's boosting it because you're projecting it all in one path instead of omnidirectional, but you're not actually changing the output of the signal. It's still the same amount of output that it started with.
It's the equivalent of speaking with a megaphone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dan, were you saying that the Skydio is going to be Wi-Fi?
I believe the Skydio is Wi-Fi.
It is. It's got the Parrot controller and the wand.
But we're actually talking about
Beacon.
the Mavic Mini at this point.
Oh, okay.
So everybody was trying to. We see all these chasing unicorn comments like it's definitely going to be OcuSync, and then they're trying to say that.
Really?
Yeah. That's these people. It's almost the
Who
same.
said
as
that? Who said that?
What's that?
Who said that?
In the comments, we're just talking about random people talking about the Mavic.
Yeah, I know. I was just wondering who said it was going to be OcuSync.
Oh, you just read through the comments. There's tons of people saying it's going to be OcuSync.
If they
You're
had
saying
read
in your
the
channel
filing,
today or
not
somewhere
my
else?
channel. No, yeah, somewhere else. Just watching and reading
I like
through the
the
comments.
32 megapixel sensor too. I love that.
What?
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, no, that was the Skydio. That was the Skydio. Some idiot, and this is what got me started on this. Some dude, I don't remember whose video I was watching. This was yesterday. I was going through the comment section. I was trying to see what people were saying about it, obviously. And some dude had another person convinced that they personally spoke with Skydio. And it's going to go from 12 megapixel with a simple firmware update. It's going to become 31 megapixel.
But the thing of it is they advertise 45 megapixels on their website, but it's the combined total, all of their cameras
Right,
together.
all of their exactly.
But it's
3D map
it's only using one camera for video, and all that.
And
it has
right.
6 cameras, but one camera, and it's a Sony sensor. They tell you which one it is right on there. They're very upfront with their information. It tells you the sensor right on it.
Well, no,
it's the 1/2 sensor.
Bob says he learned something. We hope everybody learns something every day when they leave here. I also like to learn something myself. I did tonight. Greg's a great guy to have on here because he understands things that I don't. There's a technical aspect that I understand in drones, and I think he understands internet very, very well. And so it's good having the right team of people together, because then when you put all those minds together, you come up with great data.
Has anybody done the research on who Skydio is, where those guys came from? Because I heard a story. It was a DJI in-house story that a couple of people left DJI and went off and was going to start their own bigger and better drone business.
Haven't I heard that story somewhere before?
Yes, I was going to say this is sounding very much like 3DR Solo. This is Colin Gwynn, who was a former CEO of DJI, did the same thing. His partners didn't agree with him, so he went to 3DR Robotics and he introduced an idea to them of an open source. Well, it wasn't going to be open source. It was going to be built on Pixhawk setup, but it was going to be a closed framework so nobody could mess with it. But later on, it got slowly untapped as the drone became stagnant to the market. Nobody wanted it, and the marketing took a big dump. And then after that, they started opening it up to open source capabilities. So it was never essentially going to be an open source platform unless it was somebody that was assisting 3DR with manufacturing accessories that they were going to be making that open source for the manufacturers. So yeah, sounds very 3DR-ish, my friend.
Well, I mean, you know, I heard the story that a couple of people left DJI and was going to go start their own drone company, and they were going to, you know, make it bigger and better. And then all of a sudden, these two skateboarding looking dudes that are marketing directors and CEOs of Skydio come out of nowhere. They're like 28 years old, and you know, they got the you know, SoCal, California haircut look, surfboarder guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, bro, I'm like the marketing director for Skydio. What's good?" You know, and I saw the guy.
If DJI is sharing that, that's to their own detriment, because they're actually saying, well, these Skydio people have got some experience. Why would they want to go and share that?
He worked on the Google Wing project, Adam Bree, B-R-Y.
Okay. I knew he came from somewhere because, you know, I've seen both the guys, and they both, you know, their marketing director is a dirt bike, BMX, skateboarder guy. You know, that's his gig and his stuff. That's his forte. And then the other guy, the CEO, is you know, he's a young tech guru guy. But I'm like, you know, these guys just didn't come out of, you know, some basement somewhere.
No, he's been out of MIT. He's got 2 degrees: mechanical engineering and computer science, artificial intelligence, aerospace, and aeronautical engineering.
So this is like we were saying at one time.
Well, look up Willie Martini.
I turned it off.
This is Colin Gwynn. Like I said, if you look at his introductions to his biography, founder at Gwynn Partners, founder at Hanger Technology, former CRO at 3DR Robotics Inc., former CEO of North America at DJI. Yeah, this guy has been all through the drone community, doing everything for all different companies. But he was the original one that took the idea that he pushed on DJI to create a platform like the 3DR Solo. They turned it down, so he actually took a big portion of his money, went over to 3DR Robotics and said, "Hey, I want to create this drone. Are you guys on board?" And that's how we ended up with the 3DRs. Technically, the 3DR Solo is based off of DJI tech, in a nutshell.
And even Hanger was bought. I forget who bought them. They were fighting. Well, not fighting. They were up there with Kitty Hawk, but then Hanger was bought out. Just like Precision Hawk bought out Drone.io and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I forget who bought them.
Hey man, my battery's fixing to die on all of my devices: laptop, phones, Wi-Fi router. I'm gonna get off of here.
You're good, brother.
Thanks for having me on.
Well, thanks for being
thanks
on,
for
man.
Liking. Thanks for subscribing.
You are so full of shit.
Be sure and hit that share button and that like button on the way out.
There you go.
That Remember, sounds like somebody we know.
Yeah, we've all watched hours and hundreds and hours and hundreds of hours of. You know what? You could like impersonate anybody that's in our YouTube group, and you would know instantly who it is.
And remember,
just by little stuff.
Yeah.
Just by I can
remember, it's a great day to fly.
Oh, it's a great day to die. And remember, it's a great day to die.
You'd have to be screaming if you were impersonating me.
Who's this? Hey, everybody. Let me hit you with it again. Hey, everybody.
Chris Hope?
Nope.
Is that Mel?
Yep.
Oh, you got to get deeper than that.
Well, he's like, hey, everybody.
There you go.
400 AGL.
There.
Oh, they knew it in the chat. They knew it.
Yeah.
You just got to give me a pew, 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 pew. What's going on? So you know I came in.
Have that coming up next.
Oh, yeah.
Drone Valley. I don't watch Rick. I don't watch any of those guys, man. I watch Mel. I like Mel. Mel's pretty straightforward.
I don't mind Rick. He's
did you
pretty straight shooter.
Hey, guys, what's
Greg,
up?
did you order one of the Skydios?
Have I ordered one?
Yeah,
I live in the
Yeah.
wrong part of the world. I can't.
Why not?
can't have it in Australia. Only in America and Canada.
Some of us technical smart guys don't have jobs because the clickbaiters are stealing our work.
I'm going to put a clickbait video out there, but when you actually click on it, it's going to be relevant information.
At least Rick from Drone Valley, he's an engineer.
I don't mind Rick. Like I said, I've seen a couple of his videos. I don't have an issue with Rick. Rick is at least up front. I think Rick is probably very honest out of a lot of them.
He is, and he's very intelligent, because he does do his homework. Like when he gets on camera and starts talking, that dude has spent probably 10 hours researching something before he opens his mouth about it. Unlike, someone who emailed me one day and said, I really need some thermal imaging videos bad because I'm doing a video and I'm loading it tomorrow. I got you, bro. I'm going to plug you. And you know what I mean? Because they didn't have any clue what they were talking about. So
who was that, Brian?
Yeah, I'm gonna put him on blast.
No
That video is
offense, but
coming out. I'm gonna
what's
call
he
them all
doing?
out. He got I guess DJI or DroneWorks or Ken Dono or somebody give him a Mavic 2 Enterprise Dual, and he was making a video about it, and because that was the relevant thing. You know what I mean? Like if
But you can't take 640 Tau 2 video and put it on a Mavic 2 Enterprise Edition video. They're two different. You're talking about a FLIR lepton sensor.
I'm telling you what he asked me. He texted me and asked me if he could get some FLIR footage, and I said sure. I just gave him some random shit that I had over top of a parking lot. And he was doing a first responders video, and he was talking to all of the firefighters and EMS people and the police officers up there in Philadelphia about how wonderful this drone is going to be. And I sent him that footage that he has on that video, and he never said nothing else after that to me. So it is what it is, you know what I mean? But again, that's part of like what that video Dan was talking about a while ago. That's part of it. That's part of, people look up to people like that. They got 57,000, 60,000 people subscribed to those channels, and they're hanging on to their laptop like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. Holy shit. And,
I'm gonna donate $50 to this.
I'm gonna super chat that guy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's funny. It's funny how people operate.
So what are the super chats for? Just so they can be seen?
No, it's just donations. That's not. I'm not saying that because I worry about it. I'm just saying it's amusing to watch the shows because all these super chats start rolling in, and you're like, "What was that guy thinking?"
Man, I've seen people
Like,
super
what?
chat $1,000 on a live stream before.
You really did? I saw a guy
Yeah.
do $100 several times, and I was like, why?
Like, don't get me wrong. We pay for good entertainment, but dude, I would never give somebody more than my Netflix monthly ratio is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get free TV shows, blockbuster movies, and everything for $9 a month. If you send me $20, that's crazy in my head. Something crazy going on.
People don't realize YouTube takes 40% of that anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna send this guy $50, but he's only gonna get $30 of it.
Just
They got their hands in the pocket. Yeah, they do. Is it 30 or 40? Either way, it's still, what are they doing taking it?
Yeah, well, they want their percentage. That's why channels that put their PayPal links in the description of their videos don't get much viewership. YouTube finds those PayPal links and then keeps your video from growing. They want every nickel and dime they can get from you if somebody sends or donates you money.
They've got some serious AI, artificial intelligence, that checks your thumbnails and everything, man. It can tell you that your head's tilted, whether you're smiling or not.
Yeah.
And they're using this to pump your videos and all that. Now, you've all seen the 40 pages of words you can't say, right? They're blacklisted words.
Dude, they're nailing LGBT community people for being gay. Like, I don't care what you do, dude. You know, if you want to go suck some whatever, go suck some. I don't need to hear about it, but you know, they shouldn't be able to dictate what your YouTube channel's about. If you want to be gay and happy and be LGBT and whatever else you want to do on your channel, by all means, people are going to watch it. You know, but when YouTube takes those down, and if you look at their 40 words, it actually says you can't talk about LGBT stuff at all. They don't want you talking anything gay at all on YouTube. Nothing about gay pride, nothing.
They won't push them.
Well, this video will get taken down.
I don't care. It just won't grow. That's how they're going to do it. That's how they've been doing me anyway. Ever since I got close to 10,000, they just stopped helping my growth whatsoever. It's been a fight to the finish here trying to clear that 10,000 marker, you know.
And we went through, Dan and I one night went through and took a look at some channels. And there's some channels that you watch that have actually bought people.
Subs. Yeah, you can see it in their analytic base. I'm not going into it. I really just, it was good to know who's doing it, and honestly, a couple of them I really thought weren't those kind of people. And you know what? I can't even say that because you'd never know. Somebody else could be purchasing subs for their channel and they're unaware of it. It's really easy to purchase subs for a channel. Somebody could just go on eBay and type in YouTube subscribers, and you can buy like 500 subs for your channel if you want to for like, I don't know, $30 to $50. There's people that do that for other people's channel. Like, it's weird. Somebody was doing it on my channel for a while, and I get it. They were trying to be supportive, or they were trying to do whatever and help me out. But you know, when it came time to YouTube's bot system went into play, they found all those subs that, you know, were bought by somebody. You know, when you wake, and there were days where I thought it was strange. I'd wake up the next day and all of a sudden I have 1,000 or 800 more subs than I had the other night. And I'm like, wow, that seems like a massive climb for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, I just thought one of my videos did good or something like that. I never really realized it. But then when they did that original purge, right, where the YouTube purge came through, the bot found all those purchase subs that somebody had applied to my channel, and it cleared like 1,600 subs right off my channel. So they had been slowly buying subs for my channel in increments over a period of time until they caught it. You know what I mean? Now, I have to assume all the subs I have now are accurate because I've been hit twice now with the purge, and the last time it came through, I didn't get ducked. So I think they took like 25 or something, miscalculated numbers. But yeah, I think the purge is finally over for me. I don't know what happened with all that. I really don't care at this point. But just remember, if all of a sudden you're watching your favorite channel, like there was a lady I used to watch, and she had like all of a sudden she went from like 10,000 to 55,000 subs in like a week, and I was like, that doesn't seem realistic.
Possible, yeah.
They'll put up a video and they'll get like 200 or 400 people on it, and I'm like, if you have that many people, you should have a much higher engagement rate than that, you know. And then all of a sudden they had the purge, and then she dropped back down to like 7,000, and she was like, I swear I'm not purchasing subs, and I'm not. And then if you go to her social blade right there, bam, you can see all the subs that got just
you can see the wave
annihilated. Right, the wave goes pink on this day. She shot up 10,000 subs, and then, you know, a week later, it was like, okay.
I didn't even know this was even out there until I was shown. I was like, nah, you can't do that. Remember that?
Yes,
Dan?
you can.
Yeah, you absolutely can. But the funny thing
then
is,
he showed me. We went to a couple of channels, and Dan showed me.
Yeah, the funny thing is you can still purchase it, and the people that sell that ability to do that, yeah, they'll give you the subs. But within 3 days of that funky number happening, the bot will come through and clear it, and they'll keep your money. The person that did the work for you, they just type it into a program, and they have a bot come through and just work on your channel for a little while and get you subs. Right? That's the most they do. So they take your $50 and they run. They just set your channel up with a bot and just let it keep adding subs until it gets detected. Right? So when you go back and you say, hey, I want my refund, they go, sorry, pal. You know, there was no guarantees they were going to stick. But thanks for the $50. Have a good day.
What YouTube does is beyond our control.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, there's shiesty people out there.
I'm going to bail.
You got it, brother.
Have a good one.
Yeah, I'm probably going to
catch you later.
Shut it down later, Greg.
See you guys. Bye.
So yeah, Social Blade, once you learn how to read it and understand how it works and operates, it can be a really good tool to find out how honest somebody's being with their channel and who's not. You know what I'm saying? You can see right through a lot of the rhetoric and the bullshit really quickly.
Cardoso says, I see channels with 20, 30,000 subs and barely
get
even getting 100 views. Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to their analytics. And that's when the bot comes in and goes, well, we've been noticing some peculiar activity, so let's go check out this channel. And then they start going through their analytics and their numbers, and they start detecting some, some weird numbers that don't make sense. And then when they can't find the viewership for those subs that were added, they just go, somebody's been buying subs. Well, let's go ahead and hit this channel with a purge. And then you wake up the next day and you're like, holy crap, I'm 20,000 subs down. What happened? Well, they caught on, bro. Good luck with that. You don't just all of a sudden climb 20,000 subs in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to grow, but the viewership and the numbers have to add up with it. Otherwise they just clear the subs. So
does it take them a couple of days to figure that out, though, Dan?
Well, sometimes it'll be months before they figure it out. It really depends. That's why they do the purge now twice a year. So the beginning of the year, they do the purge, and then nearing the end of the year, they do the purge. So if you're buying subs, stop now, because you're going to look like a fool when all of a sudden you have a ton of, people going, hey, I thought you were at these numbers. And you sit there and you go, why, YouTube? Why'd you do this to me? And then people go, well, because you bought subs. Okay. It's like, yeah, caught red-handed, man. We got you.
Oh yeah, that's another thing with no comments and all that. Only a handful of likes. Yeah,
you can even buy comments on eBay, man. You check this out. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick tour of eBay, and I call it the back alley of eBay.
Because with the artificial intelligence of YouTube now that they've got into effect, they're gonna find it and they're gonna catch it.
Now, I will give this to eBay. They've been cracking down a lot more on this lately. But just to give you an idea, check this out. Screen share, click here, share. All right, here's eBay, right? Here's my eBay account. Okay, so we go on here and it goes, YouTube service. For $10, I'll give you 70 views, 70 likes, 70 subscribers, and 50 plus comments. Offer. Stand out on YouTube. All right? I will leave 5 comments on your YouTube video for $1. Some of these get really extensive. Now, like I said, as you can see, they've really done a lot better job, eBay, of clearing this out, because this used to be just full of people trying to sell subs to people and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was a lot more the last time we looked.
Yeah, so like I said, they're starting to crack down on it. YouTube for you. Make viral YouTube videos. Do SEO. So for $14.99 a month, this guy will work for you and do your SEO for you, which is baloney. He'll just put you in a bot system that'll try to help your channel. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this used to be packed with people just selling subs, comments. Dude, you can even, let's see if they still do it. Let's see here. YouTube dislikes. You could pay to dislike somebody's video on a high level. Let's see if they still do it. YouTube account for $95. Let's see. 10 YouTube subscribers. Real safe human subs for 1 penny. 200. Let's see. 200 YouTube channel, $4. YouTube monetized. Premium music. Yeah, so they've really, really cracked down on this stuff, man. There's not too many people offering it anymore, which is good. Yeah, however, this isn't the only place you can buy it. You can go elsewhere and buy subs and stuff if you still want to give it a go and watch your channel get torn apart by people when they realize after your purge you drop severely. Yeah, man, you used to be able to purchase crazy dislikes on people for $5. Like you could buy 1,000 dislikes for $5, send them the channel link, and they would just let the channel have it with dislikes. Dude, there was crazy stuff you could do to people at one point on here. It looks like it's really started cleaning up their act a lot. eBay finally probably had enough people complaining about their money getting stolen, Anyways, yeah, man, we believe in transparency here. I will find you. I will catch you.
There's the same for Instagram. Third Eye View says.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some other, I forget what the other sites are. You can purchase them from other places.
It's amazing when you look on the blade and see those numbers just jump. It's like, wow.
Well, no, it is. But, there was like the one I pointed out to you. I'm not going to mention a name, but, 400 subs in one day. That's a lot, man. 400 subs. I think on average, a lot of these people may get around 70 subs a day if they have a channel of 50 to 100,000 subs. You know what I'm saying? So if you did 7, that's on the high end.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, if you have a ton of videos and you're out.
It was one video a week.
Right, and that's my thing. So to get 499 subs in one sitting, that's pretty serious numbers there, But you can see that they got cleared. Remember, they were redlined. Yep. Yeah. They got picked off real quick, and you could see the jump in the numbers. So, timeless truth. That's what this is all about. Learning.
Yeah.
Things.
Hey guys, I'm gonna call it a night. Got a long shift tomorrow. So, you guys have a good night.
Later, Ron. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah.
Good talking to you, buddy.
And, all right, guys. And we'll catch you another day.
To the roof, bro.
At least it's not snowing on you.
Yeah, really. Take care, guys. Have a good night.
Good night. All right, man.
All right. Bye-bye.
Later. So for those 24 people that are still in here, if you have not checked out my other YouTube channel yet, I encourage you to go subscribe to it. It is Drone Worship Reloaded. You should be able to type it. By now it has an algorithm. You should be able to type it right in the search bar and find it, and go ahead and drop a subscription to it. If you're feeling up to it, I'll be offering a little different. For right now, it's going to be kind of the same content or old content being put on there, but I do want to start changing it up a little bit. Once I get a lot of my older videos that did really well uploaded to that channel, then I'll start changing the content a bit more. But yes, I want to help that channel get some growth. We already passed 200 subscribers on that channel. And hey, Bill the Drone Reviewer, your other channel has been up for 2 months, and you don't even have over 125.
Yep, yours is up there now.
Yeah, so it's past the 200 marker in like 4 days. Oh yeah, man, good times. But yeah, guys. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and do that. I think we're getting to shut this down, Jim.
Okay, buddy.
I think it's time. We've been on for 3 hours now. I need to go lay down. I have a lot of pressure and things that need to be resolved here. So. Good talk, man.
You have a good night. I'll catch you next time.
You got it, brother. All right, guys. I'm getting out of here. Don't forget, you guys. If you see the wrong information that somebody's spouting on Skydio 2, let them absolutely have it. Call them out. Ask for facts. If you see somebody talking about the drone, ask questions. See the evidence for yourself. Call them out on it. These are things you can do to keep the drone community in line. Don't let people just post whatever they want to and not have any clue what they're talking about just for views. You know what I mean? Call them out. Do what you think is necessary to make them realize they can't just go around and just, talk crap about anything they want to and have a bunch of people just believing it. There has to be some action taken, you guys. It's up to the community to stop it. It's up to you guys to put a halt on how these things work with other people and the way they're doing things. And it's not good, man. It's not good. I'm sick and tired of seeing it. I know there's a lot of other people sick and tired of seeing the unicorn posting and the unicorn comments. And this isn't a magical thing. We're not chasing fake dreams here. I want to know about a product. I want to know what it has to offer. I want real information. I don't want speculation and unicorn talk, So anyways, guys, don't forget to smash the like button on the way out. Like I said, the other new YouTube channel is Drone Worship Reloaded, and I will catch you guys on the flip, man. TD real. We're gone. We're calling it a night. Bye.